ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of your show. That's right, it's the Kickout Crew, and guess who's back? Back again. It's James and Adam. So hey, tell your friends, and if you like what we're doing, be a friend and tell a friend because it's your show. Want to thank everybody for last week filling in while me and Adam were on a vacay. Mr. Thomas, amazing guest. If you haven't checked out the guy, I'm telling you, you are missing out because that dude, he is something. Loved having him on. Shout out to Zoll for chiming in, helping out and assisting the guys while we were gone.
Thanks for Zoll picking up the slack coming in late. So I appreciate you taking my spot, Zoll.
Yeah, some would say he's still talking, but that's neither here nor there. I'm kidding. Love you, Zoll. Appreciate filling in for us, because hey, like we said, it's your show, anybody can step up to the plate and be a winner because that's the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? But want to thank everybody for last week's episode. Want to thank everybody for the comments and questions. And Mr. Thomas, great interview. Obviously, he's with the Bumaye Fight Club. He accompanies Alex Kane, your MLW champion, the People's Champion, to the ring, and they got they had a big show, and it was amazing. That being said, I guess that's enough of me rambling because we got a lot of time to fill, and I'm gonna be talking a bunch. But I'm kidding. It's time to kick it on over to Brad. So hey, Brad, good to see you again, man.
Man, great
what's
to
the
see you,
sitch, as they say?
Yeah, great to see you. Yeah, Zoll is still talking. Holy hell! Thanks, Bryant, for that. Appreciate you, man. So let's talk about me, like we always do, right? I was at the pet store picking up. My son has a snake. I have to get a rat here and there for the snake to eat. I'm in line, and these people kind of sneak right up in front of me. Well, that's all right. I mean, how much stuff can they possibly have? Well, they start talking about their store points, and they're confirming that they have these store points. They're getting some of this stuff. Obviously not at a discount, but because they've spent so much money there, some of this stuff's going to be free. So they get up there, and now we're having this conversation with the cashier, and I'm not checking out at all, and I'm holding a rat in my hand. So that being said, the points didn't get them anything. Okay, the points didn't get them anything for this particular trip, and they were really mad about it. So then the girl says, well, listen, I have $40. So if it's over $40, we're going to have to start putting some stuff back. I'm like, oh my gosh, why did you sneak in front of me? What was the urgency when you knew you had drama to sneak in front of me? I have one thing in and out, let's go. So it ends up being like $36.02. So they have the money. Fantastic. Let's go. No. Mom, go to the car and get that change we have in the cup holder. You're fucking kidding me, right? You're going out to the car to get so minutes are going by. I mean, it felt like hours because they went to the car to get the 2 cents so they get the $4 back. And they are arrogant and they are pissed. And this is like, just get the hell out of line. I'll give you the 2 cents. Anyway, that's all I had for that. Well, by the way, though, they did have pajama bottoms on. And what is this with pajama bottoms everywhere? This is 4:00 in the afternoon. I'm seeing pajama bottoms at the gym. I'm seeing pajama bottoms at a hibachi steakhouse.
My son, they've been doing that at school, man. He'll come to the house and he's got just regular pajama bottoms, like a decent shirt and pajama bottoms.
Yeah, you got to go comfortable, Brad. I mean, come
on. As the great Dave LaGreca says, if you're wearing pajama bottoms, you have not washed your ass. And I totally do believe that.
Shout out, busted open.
Recently, as we record this, it hasn't happened yet, but it'll be tomorrow as we record. It is Groundhog's Day, and PETA is fighting Groundhog's Day, saying that they are too hard on the groundhog. Well, let me tell you something. I have been to Punxsutawney. Okay, there is nothing that groundhog wants for at all. He lives in the library, and you can call it an enclosure all you want. This is not a big animal. This is a big enclosure, and he's got three groundhog women in there with him. Let me tell you something. He's living the Jabba the Hutt life, if you catch my drift. There is nothing wrong with this animal. He is doing just fine, PETA. He is not being tortured. You know who are being tortured? The ones that are crossing the road and we're actually hitting him with a car by accident. They're the ones that are running for their lives. Doing
I could say a lot about PETA, but I'm going to let that go.
Let me ask you a question, James. When you have a sale at the store, now I know you work at a different kind of unique store, but if there's a sale on an item, do you usually tell them what the sale is?
I mean, you at least have signs. If there's not like
you tell
any
them what the price is, like if you have the yes, okay,
like was this now this like sale, like yeah.
I feel like I'm at this gas station and there's the holiday candy that's now passed, right? and they have on there written sale, but no price. That's a scam, okay? They're charging the same money or more maybe, but it says sale, so you want it. Stay away from that. From a guy that's been in the car business for almost 23 years, let me tell you something. A sale isn't necessarily a sale. All right. Finally, good news. My daughter, Lotus, has finally accepted that she is going to Pitt. Whoa, I disappeared there. And I am a Pitt dad. She is going to go for the University of Pitt for nursing. She just
That's
accepted
awesome.
Nursing,
months
huh?
ago.
Damn.
That's why I was in disguise. Thanks, Arn Anderson, for that. And I'm really proud of her. She just did this. Wow. Do you want to talk about what they do now? They dress up their whole bed with like Pitt stuff, Pitt banners, Pitt balloons, and they get these pictures and then they send them out on the Pitt socials. And then we even have pictures of her paying the $300. Like it's a little different than when I went to school. It's just it's, you know, a few years have gone by, but congratulations to Lotus. We're both very proud of you. Everybody's proud of you. So anyway, that was a lot. That was a lot. And it was in a short period of time, but it was a lot. Back to you, James.
Oh, hey, shout out to Lotus. Yin's gonna have a good time in Pittsburgh. I actually like Pittsburgh. That's a cool ass city. You know, a little bit too much on the black and yellow, but I'll let it slide. But yeah. But yeah, Pittsburgh's awesome. Shout out Megan, Bober, Kyle, Julia, David. I mean, I could go on and on. They're great people there. Good city.
Ben.
It's like a small town, like blue collar, but in big city, and it's really cool. And they're very passionate about their stuff. Man, Pittsburgh's awesome. So that's a badass. And what was that? So you have 2 kids in college now? You got one a senior?
There's a lot going on. Yeah. I got 2 seniors. So, you know, Lotus
2
is
seniors, that's what it is. Yeah.
Lotus and Frank are in the same grade. Lotus is adopted. And so they're not twins, but they're both graduating this year and they're both going to move on. I'm not sure what Frank's doing yet. He's still working on it, and that's okay.
Or that.
Don't spend my money without knowing, all right?
I became halfway an adult at 32, and I'm 38 and still not fully to the adult stage.
Amen to that.
And this past weekend could definitely prove that to be correct.
Amen.
But yeah, it's awesome, Brad. You know, little quick ratings for that old Stanton. So, I like it. And next on the outline, if you notice, our boy Mike is feeling a little under the weather, so you know we're trekking on through without him, and hope he feels better. And by the time he hears this, he's probably going to feel better. So yeah, shout out Mike. Devin, who gives a fuck? So you know, shout out.
Here you go. Does Bryant have a topic?
Oh yeah, hot tag, baby.
God.
The R-Truth Rumble hot tag.
Hey, touch me on a
Hold on,
hot
let
tag,
me
brother.
sit there and hold out my hand for the tag there. Yeah.
That was so
Make sure you
fucking
have the
awesome
tag,
when he
right?
did that, dude. I was dying.
Oh, dude, that was a great spot. I would say, am I tagging in for Mike's spot or Devin's?
I don't care.
We'll have to cover the
Shout
tag at
out,
the
your
same
show.
time.
It's give and take. It's give and take.
We just can't go off the outline. We just cannot.
No, we have to follow the outline perfectly every time. Good God.
Oh, wait.
Trying to
Before
get
we get
Brian
going, do
Ball.
you have the right outline pulled up? That's shout out.
Oh, that's a
Devin.
good question. Yeah, I should double check to make sure. We're on episode 87, right?
Oh, please.
92.
Where's Mr. Thomas? I thought he was here.
I thought Mr. Thomas was going to be here. That's why I'm on the show.
Yeah, I just watched 2 Bam Bam Bigelow matches. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that means no.
No, I'll pass on. I was waiting for later, so go ahead, because I don't want to step on as an in-ring performer. So.
Yeah, right.
There has definitely been a lot happening in this world of wrestling, as they say. So, boy, howdy, Adam. As an in-ring performer,
Yeah.
are we going to keep it in the ring, or what are we going to go with this week?
Well, you know, like Brad mentioned last week, we were in Tampa, and then unfortunately the week before, I had a pipe burst here at the house, so my ceiling kind of fell in the kitchen. So that was kind of priority 1 over anything. So it feels like I hadn't got a chance to talk to you guys in a while, and that's just too much stuff to go back and talk about. So while it's fresh in my mind, I just want to talk about the Rumble, because there was too much negativity that happened last week, and I hope it all gets resolved the right way. But I'm gonna talk about the positive stuff, the Royal Rumble this past weekend as we record. I think I called it, Bailey winning. Shout out Bailey, thank you, darling.
Shout out.
Shout out.
I thought CM Punk was going to get that, man.
Oh,
I didn't
And
know.
Cody Rhodes pulling out the victory. But what
I was
y'all
going to
think
ask
about-
this actually, if I could, Adam. Do you think maybe Punk knew he was hurt and they called an audible in the ring?
See, I was thinking about that. I don't think so. I think he was supposed to go to what do you call it, elimination chamber. I think he was supposed to go to elimination chamber, and then that's when he was going to get set up against Seth Rollins.
I'll tell you this much: if Cody wins the Rumble twice, doesn't finish this fucking story,
Yeah.
go back to AEW. You know.
All right. So here's a big topic been going on. Do y'all feel like if he doesn't face Roman, that the story's not finished? Like, say he beats, because if everybody doesn't know, Seth Rollins come out and wanted Cody to face him. So if Cody beats Seth Rollins, do you think the story's finished? Does it have to be Roman to finish the story?
I think it does. I mean, listen, the championship's the championship, but let's face it. It is the greater of the two championships, right? It just because of how long Roman has had it. I hate to say it, but it's true. So I think I think Roman has to be done. I think
Well, it's like on one hand, it's the belt, like the big goldish looking belt.
Yeah.
So that could be a cool story. But then on the other hand, it's like
But Dusty's had the big gold
beat
belt.
the king of the mountain. Like I don't know. So either
Well,
way.
and Cody said it in the promo when he was originally going to do this. It was about chasing the title his father never had.
Right.
And that's the
he's had
WWE
big gold
title.
belt. I mean,
And he's had the world heavyweight title. So
I think, yes. I think to finish the story, he has to beat Roman. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Seth Rollins thought a damn good argument, man.
He was awesome. It was a great promo. Great promo.
I mean, him, Rollins, Drew McIntyre, all these guys are just putting out some banger promos, man. And it's amazing. And then talk about Netflix signing them to a $5 billion deal to come to Netflix next year. I mean, $5 billion, man. Come on now.
Yeah, that's all.
500 million a year.
I found
down. That's $3 million an hour.
I found it interesting they had the out clause set up for 5 years. So if after 5 years the deal isn't there, they can opt out.
But after
I think that was an
they can extend it.
Right.
Well, we'll see what happens with it. I think it's hopefully streaming's there for the views. Dancing with the Stars tried this, and they went back to ABC the next year and streamed on Disney Plus because apparently the ratings were down. But I think wrestling audience is a little different than the Dance with the Stars audience. So, because I would think
not
that's
really. If you listen to this show, it's the same fuckers.
But I didn't know I was going to get to go to the Rumble when I went down to Tampa. But shout out Matt M. He called and said, "Hey man, I got a ticket. Get down here." So I was blessed.
For anything this weekend? Did you pay for anything? Did you pay for anything this weekend?
Oh, I paid for the ticket, but yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure.
I can imagine Matt on the phone. Hey, Adam, I fucking forgot my purple shirt, so I can't go to the show. Would you mind stepping in my place?
His buddy that always goes with him got upgraded to like the 10th row. So he got to sit with him and he sold me his ticket.
I got you.
But we still had damn good seats. I mean, I paid for the hotel, my portion of the hotel, but
wait, so you're telling me Matt was in Tampa?
Yeah, he was down there with his buddy on Rose Inn.
Fucking asshole.
Hey,
Mike Cole was there too. Oh,
Yeah,
I was busy, couldn't make it over to you guys.
there.
Oh, I bet. Fucking friends, real friends. Kanye song.
And then I got to run into Jacob Fatu, man.
Oh, you're Oos.
Yeah, he was in the audience. Apparently, I didn't get to see him in the audience, but I just happened to bump into him downstairs in front of the concession stand.
That was so random.
But
you're just like next to the bathroom.
They showed him in the audience later, like just him and the other Uso. I can't remember his name.
There's a lot of them.
But I think it's the
Yeah.
one from New Japan. They were
You
the
narrowed it
audience
down
cheering
to
them
50.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have those Samoans ever done?
Tonga Teo, whatever his name is.
Tonga?
I can't remember if that was who it was or not, but it was both of them in the crowd with Booker T just wilding out. So man, it was an amazing time. Just Bailey winning from number 3, that was awesome. And then just the whole get together, being there. Like I said, we had a ball. Bobby, Richard Brown, Canada. He said, "Man, I don't
Richard,
think I've ever
huh?
seen palm trees." So it's just it's them get-togethers are awesome, man. And James, you know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
We had a great time down there, and thanks to Efren for pretty much making the weekend over the top. It was amazing.
Shout out. There'll be more on that later.
Oh yeah, definitely. But no, I was gonna leave it at that. Rumble was awesome. WWE's going in a damn good direction. I'm interested to see after everything happened and what WrestleMania is going to do,
Yeah, me too.
because
I think my ticket prices went down.
all this, everything that's happened has ruined my predictions. So I know there's a couple of matches I missed completely.
Oh, I can't account for
Jade,
injuries.
shout out Jade I think Jade had a strong debut. That's a good way to debut her in front of a crowd. And,
Yeah.
because
Jade,
now
yeah,
she
that was
seems
awesome.
legit. So, like,
I like
moving
her.
forward.
You look
Jordan
great.
Grace being in the
Oh,
Rumble.
that was freaking
That was
great.
awesome.
Man.
That was amazing.
How did you know that, Bryant?
I don't want to reveal my sources.
I need to know.
I've got
Sean
my own
Ross
sources.
Remza.
I've got my own sources back here that I know.
I knew about
who to talk
Naomi,
to.
but I didn't know about
I mean,
Jordan
he
Grace.
says it. There's going to be another one, and then she comes out next. There's gonna be another TNA star. She comes out next.
Yep.
Like 4 later. Like what do you?
I was actually shocked. I sent that message and then she came out. I was like, I expected a little gap in the middle, but I'm like,
But
okay,
you
that
knew it was
worked out.
her. You knew it was gonna be her.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Why do you know this stuff?
I know people. I know who to talk to.
Yeah,
I
Scott.
have my own sources.
Damn it, Daniel
Scott D'Amore.
Spencer.
You on a one-on-one first name basis with Scott D'Amore.
It's not
He's
hard to
just
get a hold of
he's-
these TNA stars when you were there at the show. I'll tell you that. They're all running
Oh,
around.
dude. Oh, yeah.
So he might have got something like that.
Ever sleeping on one of the biggest things, man? McAfee's back, baby.
Monday nights.
Whoa,
Yeah.
oh.
I screamed at our watch party when he came out at the beginning. What? Let's
Oh,
go.
the crowd
I
went
jumped up and I'm
ballistic.
like, fuck yeah. And everybody's just looking at me in our
crowd
watch
went
party.
ape
And I'm like,
shit, man.
yeah.
Braun
man.
Breaker, man, did amazing in the Rumble.
Yeah, he was a great
Oh,
alternate.
Yeah, I think it was just one of the best. I think the women's Royal Rumble was probably the best one they've had.
That was good. It was definitely good.
And then the men's was awesome, and no legends. That was crazy.
No legends.
No legends.
And I wasn't mad.
That shows
I like-
you how
I like
strong
that,
it is right now.
Well, and Bailey even said it, like, we didn't have to, I mean, obviously they got Jordan Grace and stuff, but she's like, we didn't have to, pull anybody from the bullpen, as they say. Like, they have the roster to do it.
Yeah, because the first Rumble, it was half legends, which I understood why.
Yeah.
They were all wanted to be a part of the first one. I got it. But it was like half of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Road Dogg. I remember Road Dogg mentioned it because he come by that morning, and he said, "Hey man, y'all pay attention to the Royal Rumble tonight, man. There's gonna be a couple of surprises." And I was hoping Trent Williams was gonna be in it. God, I was hoping he's gonna be in it.
Because I think he's more over than Carmelo Hayes right now.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely. I think him and Braun would have been awesome in the Royal Rumble
Rick
together.
is
Those whoop that trick chants are loud.
yeah, he's
like
he's a
loud.
fan favorite, man. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He was just like the heavy for a while. He was getting his ass kicked all the time, like a Mr. Thomas, to
He's
like
an
being the
LA
main event.
The LA Knight of the NXT.
Yeah.
Oh man, in that match, I can't believe they had the Universal title match before the United States title match.
So there was only 4 matches. I didn't know what they were going to do. I honestly didn't know what they were going to do. I did feel the women would go on first. Other than that, I didn't know.
I went up to my room to refill my beers after the women's Royal Rumble because I was like, oh, I know what match is next. Oh, YouTube bitch. And then the cover band. The YouTube dude and the cover band wrestler were next. So I was like, I'm going to go up to my room, take a piss, refill my beers. I come back down and like Roman's pinning him. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then sure shit, I sit down. Bam, here comes Logan Paul, Kevin Owens. I was like, motherfucker. Like, I missed the Roman match and I get here for this. And
Kevin
during that
Owens-
Roman match, shout out JD Hoop, our boy, pretty much did like everybody's fucking gear,
Shout out.
Kevin Owens actually had the match with a fractured foot. That was amazing to hear, man, because you couldn't tell it.
Hope
That's
he takes
crazy
time
what these
off.
guys go through, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hope he takes a little time off.
Got
Yeah,
it.
I hate that, man. That ruined everything.
That was subtle, James.
So nice I had to say it twice.
You know what I
Yeah,
just thought of?
so-
Mike was going to
Yeah.
announce next week's show. He ain't fucking here.
Do we still even know what we're doing? Like, is there
Yeah,
a
he was
plan?
he was doing gimmick matches. He had them all planned out. Now I don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're gonna do whatever we
Nothing.
want, Mike.
We're gonna change it
Right.
up now. This is
Audible.
we're gonna do
Yep,
an
should
audible
have been
for
here.
Brian,
this.
you figure it out by the end of the show, okay?
Got it. I
Good.
already have I already planned a segment to take over Mike's Meat Minute anyway. So
Well, you can't miss that time.
Hey,
Yeah,
why don't you
no.
just do the same fucking one from a week ago?
Tremendous, because he had no idea.
I was
None
dying
whatsoever.
laughing
We
listening to
should have
that
let him
part
do
back.
it. We should have let him do it.
Why did y'all cut him off, man? That was such a
Because I was like, no way. He was
I said the same thing. There's no way he's doing it again. No way.
so drunk.
Soak the pickles and ranch. I was like, wait, what? I was on for that one. Like, this is a different one.
Me and Brian are just not having it.
No.
So, yeah,
I'm not doing a 48-hour pickle soak again. Like,
Yeah, 48 hours, 2 days, ready by the time the games are on. I remember the whole.
I'm not soaking my pickles in anything.
Yeah, no shit. How'd we get on this, Mike?
Whatever.
My fault.
Go ahead, James. That's it, man. That's it on my end.
And that was This Week in Wrestling.
Kind of.
Yeah. By the time this airs, 10 days old, whatever.
Don't matter. You just want to hear his bullshit anyway.
Yeah,
We're gonna be talking about the Super Bowl in fucking March, so you know it don't matter. And just wanted to say, before this football season started, I said on this very program, shout out McAfee, that Texas and Dallas were going to win their respective championships. Both lost in the playoffs. So that being said, next year is our year. Dan Campbell left, so our defense is going to blow ass. But next year is our year.
you mean Dan Quinn?
That's what I meant, Dan Quinn.
Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn, whatever. They both
Yeah.
lost.
They're all
There's
Dan.
always
He's
next
Dan
year.
out of here. That's all I gotta say. And he's probably taking Micah Parsons with him, which sucks.
Yeah, 4th and 3, baby.
There's always next year. Seems like we just heard that.
It's already here. Next year will be 30 years since Super Bowl 30. Or it'll be close. But yeah, I was
Yeah,
8 years
close.
old the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. I'm 38. So, you know, I was in 3rd grade, whatever.
30 more
10.
years ain't gonna hurt.
I think I was 10.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
know.
fine.
Who
Like
knows?
if they took away the playoffs, Dallas could make it to the Super Bowl.
You know what? I'm starting a petition now.
The college is trying to extend their playoffs, and then NFL needs to shorten theirs. That way Dallas will make it.
Well, no, because we got to keep an extra wild card team just in case, so we can get Dallas in there.
Oh man.
And that
Yeah.
was This Week in Wrestling.
Yes.
So I guess it's it's time for today's agenda, huh? And Bryant, it appears that you were actually on the outline for today's agenda. So what is
I guess
today's
that's
agenda?
I guess this worked out well. But Brad decided we needed to cover the Big Show because it is his birthday. He was born February 8th. So we'll be talking about the Big Show today. He was born with acromegaly, which is the disease that causes gigantism. Andre the Giant famously had this same disease, which is why he had such a growth spurt. By age 12, he was already 6'2". That just fascinates me completely. To be that young and that tall already is just something insane. He was spotted by Hulk Hogan at a charity basketball game in '94, and Hulk working his Hulk magic talked Big Show into becoming a professional wrestler. Joins WCW in 1995, where he would go on to be a 2-time WCW champion and a 3-time tag team champion. By the way, fun fact, can anybody name his 3 partners?
In WCW?
in WCW.
Mike, is Mike around to answer these questions?
No. I was expecting
Kevin
Mike,
Sullivan?
so yeah. No, that is not. It was Lex Luger, Sting, and Scott Hall.
I think I knew Lex, and that was it. That I remember.
Yeah. He would stay in WCW until 98, and then he would debut actually a week later in the WWE at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, helping Stone Cold win a steel cage match.
Kind of.
Kind of. He would go on to have a 20-year career with WWE, winning the WWE title, the world title, the ECW title. He was a 5-time tag team champion. Can anybody name his partners there? 5 different partners.
Jericho.
Jericho.
That is one. Yep. That's
Kane,
one.
Kane.
That's 2. Yep.
Undertaker.
3.
Was it X-Pac?
No, that was Kane.
Nope, that was Kane. It was actually Miz is the other name we're looking for.
Yeah, the Miz. Yeah, Miz.
Show Miz was
Show me,
their
that's it.
Good.
little group name there. But he was also the 24th Triple Crown and 12th Grand Slam champion in company history. Would stay until 2021, and then he would join AEW. But let's be realistic. He's most famously known for being Captain Insano in Waterboy.
Yeah.
Because that was just amazing.
Insano.
So, and that is who we're covering today.
Fantastic.
Man, that ECW, he won the belt at ECW. I heard that's a great pay-per-view.
Well, he lost it at a terrible pay-per-view. Yes. I mean, yeah, that was a terrible pay-per-view that he had. The
My money
December
for
to Dismember.
My money for Top Guy just came out of my account. Just want everybody to know that.
Hell
Sorry,
yeah.
James.
Thank God we get Brad for another month. All right.
Yeah, I forgot to cancel again.
Well,
And
are
back
we
to you,
ready
James.
for our
Yeah.
first match?
Let's do it, James.
Hell yeah. Well, the first match we are discussing is the Giant versus Ric Flair. It is for the WCW World Heavyweight title from WCW Monday Nitro. It was taped April 22nd, 1996, but it aired April 29th, 1996. So Eric makes this big deal about going live. Taped.
I was thinking that too.
So it took place at the Albany Civic Center in Albany, Georgia. My goodness.
I mean, doesn't it look like an ambulance should be like pulling up to there?
For real.
That looks like
Yeah,
a hospital.
It's like a library.
Could be a library / hospital. Nice flags.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Old Meatloaf there. What's on that third flagpole?
Nothing. It's just an empty flagpole. That's what I was like. It's so random to have 3 and then only 2 flags.
Yeah, for real. Just in case we're going to get this third one.
Again, one random car parked illegally.
Yeah.
Right?
Can't park in
Of
the parking lot. No.
No, we got to go up front. Yeah, we got to be up
I got to
front.
run in real quick. I'll be real fast. 5 minutes.
Looks like a nice fall to winter day. No leaves on the trees.
Yeah, beautiful scenic shot.
Yeah. The building looks dirty as shit up top there.
Yeah, the little divots. I wonder if rain just like shoots off that bitch when it
Oh,
floods.
dude, you got it. Oh, absolutely has to. Plus, let's be realistic. Who's climbing up there to clean that? Nobody.
I mean, what about this architect that made this ridiculous building with that?
Wouldn't that
freaking
rain
deer?
fall and then dropping that like foyer, the little balcony thing?
Let me tell you something else, too. Those bushes are shit. What is that? A mound of dirt in the middle? Or is that another bush?
It looks like a mound of dirt in the middle. Yes.
Might be some shirt, yeah.
That's how they put the bushes around it because they got that big ass mound of
They're,
dirt.
they're like, we can't move this dirt. Put some bushes around it. We'll hide it. It'll be fine.
Freaking terrible looking. Great job.
I bet that extra flag used to be like where the rebel flag used to be, but since it got real bad, they had to take it down.
Yeah, I'm okay with that then. We'll go with
That's
the
fine,
pole.
then.
Just a nice pole.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay, that's what Buff Bagwell's mom's supposed to be.
Yes.
And again, that is for a specific demographic of people that might know what we're talking about.
I do like that second level little balcony area does have a light, like a
Yeah, thank
that's,
God.
People can see. That's safety is everyone's responsibility. Oh boy. So that is the Albany Civic Center. It had an attendance of an estimated 6,500, which is 6,500. It had a 2.1 TV rating, the whole episode. I don't know about the match specifically. And it had a match length of 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Shout out to TV matches. Shout out to 1 hour shows. Loved it. 1 hour show has a 5 minute heavyweight match.
Heavyweight title match.
Yeah,
heavyweight title
so
match.
there we go. But enough about that. How did we get there?
He's got it.
Okay.
All right, so back at Uncensored 96, the Giant defeated Loch Ness in about a 5 minute #1 contenders match.
So he is
And,
real.
It was probably not even 5 minutes.
I think they flew him in from
that all the time. 5
Switzerland, or wherever the hell that is. Like, I'm kidding.
So the title match was set for the following Monday Nitro. Ric Flair was in a Doomsday Cage match back at Uncensored with Arn Anderson, Ming, the Barbarian, Lex Luger, Taskmaster, Z Gangsta, and the Ultimate Solution against Hogan and Savage. So the next night, which would be March 25th, 1996, the Giant set to go one-on-one with Ric Flair for the WCW Championship. During the match, Arn and Kevin Sullivan hit the ring, and the match was thrown out because Sullivan come in. Well, Arn come in with the chair, hit the Giant, and then threw it to Sullivan, or Sullivan picked it up, one or the other. And so the Giant thought Sullivan did it. So that was pretty funny how they did that. Look like that girls. All right, so on the next Nitro, April 1st, the Giant was supposed to team up with Sting against Harlem Heat, but Jimmy Hart paid Harlem Heat to forfeit and paid the Giant to turn on Sting, to turn him back to the dark side. So they had their match. The Giant and Sting had their match, and Flair faced off against Luger. 2 weeks later, on the 15th, on that Nitro, Ric Flair and the Giant are put together to face tag team champions Sting and Lex Luger. Flair and the Giant had a rocky start, but they started working together pretty well. But after Woman threw coffee in the face of Sting, Flair and the Giant were DQ'd. So
Old Bischoff move.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they've been throwing hot coffee, and I guess that was a thing back then because they did it a few times in a row. But there was never no burn marks or nothing like that on their face. I think the Giant ended up did a promo right after it happened, and no redness, no nothing. So I'm glad he was able to heal up so fast. Because he did get thrown off a building and come back. So
Right. I mean, we've never seen anybody get hurt in wrestling before and then get right back up.
if he didn't get thrown off a building, hot coffee ain't gonna do shit. All right, so on the next Monday Nitro, Flair and the Giant get a rematch. For some oddball reason, they get a rematch. But this match is another tag match, but it's for all the belts. It's for the tag title, it's for the TV title, and for the WCW World Championship titles. So during the match, Flair throws coffee in the Giant's face, and the ref calls for the bell.
So so it comes full circle then in WWE.
Yeah, first it's in Sting's face, and then it's in the Giant's face.
You live by the coffee throw, you die by the coffee throw, I guess.
And it was very. I think Flair must have spilled. Yeah, it was Flair. I guess he spilled most of it in the corner because when he threw it, it looked like the very bottom of a Coke can. You know, that little tip. That's how much flew out.
Live TV.
Right.
And so Flair was begging for forgiveness. We ain't got him a towel, and John said, "No, you don't piss me off, and I want you next week for the title." And that's where we're at.
All right. So we have the Giant entrance with Jimmy Hart. So, well, we were going to start with Mike, but we're not doing that now. So, James, how old does the Giant look to you here?
38.
And I just wanted to let you know he's 24.
Yep, 24.
And he's being recruited by the Detroit Lions.
He definitely does not look 30 or 24 years old, but
Yeah.
it's part of what it is. So then we have Flair entrance with Woman, who is Nancy Benoit, and Miss Elizabeth. Styling and profiling, right? Well, Devin, how about you, Bryant? I'm off to a hot start.
Always styling and profiling. That's the Ric Flair way. That's how he's always been.
Shout out Miss Elizabeth. That's all.
Man, Nancy and Elizabeth. My goodness.
And no Nature Boy.
Woo.
Deborah McMichael in the crowd posing with Flair and was very angry about it. And of course, you have well, we're gonna get to that, right, James?
Look,
So-
look at that. Like, I mean, she just does not look happy at all. I mean,
I love that. So, James, who are the announcers?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It is Eric Bischoff, Steve Mungo McMichael, and what was it, Pepe or whatever? What was the little
Pepe.
dog's name?
Pepe. Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
In some sweet Macho Man type get up. And could you imagine being like the airbrush person and be like, all right, I gotta do Jimmy Hart shit, you know? And like, wait, I'm doing shit for Chihuahua now. Like, so he pull out the little itty bitty, you know. Oh boy. And Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Bobby the Brain. Nice group there, definitely. Adam, do you know who the referees are this evening?
Oh, the referee is Pee Wee Anderson.
There it is. Love it.
Oh yeah.
So also let's go right back to you, Adam. They are going with the Andre the Giant gimmick here for the Giant. Did you like it? Did they like that he was his son? Did you like that they did that?
I hated it because, for one, Andre never had a son, and two, just because they're both 7'4" and they call themselves the Giant, doesn't mean that he's his son. The timeline doesn't work out.
Kind of like
Plus,
that
I can know.
Lance Von Erich, huh?
Yeah, and plus it kind of puts a shadow over Big Show Giant. It puts a shadow over him already to have to build up to that name. It's just like anytime your dad's, it's just like the Rock's daughter has a feel his shoes, you know, it's you have a stigma you have to live up to.
Well, there's definitely a lot of pressure for sure. So Flair playing like Flair leaves the ring immediately after the bell rings. Woo! Flair playing a Miz type chicken shit heel here. Woman whispers in Flair's ear. So Bryant, does Flair work as a heel here against the Giant, or like, because the Giant's such a giant? So does it really work for Flair to be a heel?
I don't think Flair can do anything but be a heel. I don't think he knows how to really play the babyface character. Even against the Giant, who is supposed to be the big badass dominant guy, I think Rick is just naturally the heel in this situation.
And a chicken shit heel works in this situation, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So Flair no match for the Giant right away. Power slam Giant. James, what's wrong with the crowd though?
You know, hanging out, chilling. Probably didn't really think that this would be, you know, like a TV match or a title match on TV. You're like, okay, you know, schmoz is coming, you know, when's it happening? And this is like the second, you know, because they taped last week's Nitro and then taping this one. So they may just be a little fatigued.
For sure.
Even though it is still 2 hours, if you divide that up into 2 shows, it's like, fuck, we're here for another one. You know, so
and you have no idea how much they recorded it anyway, outside of that. Or
true,
like,
they probably recorded another hour before it started.
Yeah, they
Dark-
probably was not
dark match and everything.
Thunder going
Yeah.
in or no?
definitely. I mean, there was no YouTube back then, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So Giant throws Flair out of the ring. Flair hiding behind the ladies. Giant stalking him on the outside. Adam, obviously the Giant is very inexperienced at this point. How does someone like Flair help him with that?
Oh, I mean, it's not hard to do with the Giant because he's just so big. I mean, you just got to make him look like he's just this massive, like a boss that you can't beat, but him being the babyface. Flair can make anybody look good. So
I agree.
all you got to do is just make him look dominant.
I agree completely. I thought he did. Both men back in the ring, thumb to the eye of the Giant. Now Flair chopping and punching with absolutely no luck. Giant misses elbow in the corner. Giant throws Flair off the top. Mike, jeez. I just can't get used to it. James, do you see what you watched Omos this weekend in the Rumble? Do you see some of what he does in the ring? Like, can you compare him to the Giant here?
Yeah, I would. Granted, they kind of keep Omos like, you know, a little boxed in per se, but you know, the Giant was definitely like an athlete. He could fly around the ring and stuff. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of similarities. You know, slow, sudden but powerful movements. You know, shit like that.
Yeah, I felt the same way because I mean, watching Omos this weekend and watching this early on in his career here with Giant Paul Wight, it just reminded me of they reminded me of each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe Omos, you know, I don't know how athletic he is, but there's a lot of people think he's got it. So we'll see what happens.
Oh well, shout out Mike. Good Lord, you can't even mention Omos's name with that. You know, Jeff Jarrett says he had it 2.5 years ago. No, I'm kidding.
I know. Uh, suplex Giant, Flair selling really, really well. Flair blocking the choke slam, low blow to Giant while the ladies distract the ref. Oh, come on. Dirtiest player in the game, right, Adam?
Amen.
Giant pushing Flair from his knees. Flair puts something, brass knuckles, on and knocks out the Giant when the ref is distracted by the ladies again. Now, Flair is in control. Any chance with him putting this figure 4 on Bryant that is actually going to hold?
God, no. I mean, you watched him pick his leg up. The leg, when he picked it up, was almost the size of Ric Flair standing there next to him. Like, you're just watching. There's no chance.
No chance. Not going to fool me on this one.
Yeah.
Choke slam Giant, and then that's it. We're into the 1, 2, 3 pin. Adam, what did you think of the finish?
It was quick, subtle. It made the Giant look dominant. I mean, Ric Flair put him over.
Do you think they were rushed for time?
I think so, because it was kind of rushed. I mean, they did the same thing a few weeks ago. It was almost the same exact match.
So
Instead
Jimmy
of
Hart I'm sorry.
Instead of choking him, he hit him with something.
So Jimmy Hart going nuts. Mean Gene in the ring now. Woman is flipping out. James, did Mean Gene help out here at all?
As much as he could, I guess. But here's the thing: you say like the press for time. Mean Gene comes out here, talks, then they go back to the announce booth. Like, they weren't pressed for that much time, but
Exactly.
I mean,
That's a good point.
Giant does he's young, he's busting his chops in that ring, but yeah, Mean Gene, I mean, he did what he could,
Was Jimmy Hart a good mouthpiece for him, Bryant? I mean, did he need a mouthpiece for the Giant?
I think he did at this point. Still, he was still young by this point. He's still not even a full year into the business. So he's still trying to work out and learn. And I think having Jimmy Hart be the guy to kind of talk for him was a huge help for him.
I will say this, and I'm going to end on this. Roman Reigns has been champion for 3 years. He doesn't wrestle for the championship on very many Raws or SmackDowns. And this was such a random title change on a random tape night that no one gave a shit about. I'm sorry. The crowd just wasn't into it. What a difference between now and this time period. So I just wanted to shout that out. But that's all for me on this match. I enjoyed it. I thought aside from the crowd, I thought they did well. I thought it was a fun match, but a 5-minute championship match, the main championship.
For real.
Match and a title change, not a schmuck.
And a dead reaction. Well, I mean, it kind of cheers, but like not the big like 1, 2.
It just goes to show how many times the title was changing back then.
And I like that suplex picture. If you notice, like Rick's feet are like out of the frame. Like that's how fucking huge Big Show is.
Can you imagine if Roman Reigns would lose on a Raw or a SmackDown, or even Seth Rollins, or even Gunther?
Dude, could you imagine that this 3-year reign ends on like a 5-minute match on Raw?
On Sunday Night Heat?
Velocity.
Main event.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Event.
Yeah.
Like any of the main championships around, the only one you could actually see that happening with is maybe the United States Championship or the Tag Championships.
Maybe.
But definitely not the women main championships, not the Intercontinental. No freaking way.
No.
So it's just a lot different. But anyway, that's it for me. Back to you, James. Hell yeah.
Well, what goes better with wrestling than some food? And my goodness, we're gonna have Mike's Meat Minute with Bryant.
Tell me about the pickles.
You take these pickles and you rinse for 2 days. And,
you take these pickles and you put them in a jar for a month and a half.
Who likes bacon?
You guys like bacon?
How about ranch? Shout out.
You soak the chicken in buttermilk for 2 days.
Yep, you cook it on 350 for 2.5 days.
Soak the fucking chicken. That was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
I'm going to actually steal a Devin's demographic, even though it's not on the outline, because we knew Devin wasn't going to be here today. But I was going to mention how, as we're recording this Sunday, is the NXT Vengeance Day pay-per-view, where we have what I feel is a pretty good card going into it. You've got Tony D'Angelo and Stax and Adriana Rizzo versus OTM and Jada Parker.
Shout out Adriana.
Shout out
Uh,
to Dennis Walker.
Just added after the show last night on Tuesday was a no disqualification match with Dijak and Joe Gacy. I'm intrigued to see what they're doing with Joe Gacy's character. He's just kind of been going crazy since Schism kind of disbanded.
I like the announcer stuff.
Yeah.
He was the announcer. I mean, he's
that was great. When he just sat it between Vic and Booker is just selling it like, what the hell is happening?
and he was making no sense. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. We have the North American Championship match with Obafemi and Dragon Lee. I like what they're doing with Obafemi, trying to build him as this dominant monster. I don't know if Dragon Lee's the right guy to kind of put him in there with for that first defense, but
It's just a rematch.
Oh yeah, and it's just Dragon Lee's rematch, so that way he can go back to SmackDown and
Yeah,
go that
I
route.
hope this puts him back to SmackDown.
Yeah. A match that I'm looking forward to, the NXT Women's Championship, Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. Perez has been kind of doing a little bit more of the heel streak lately, and Lyra, I think, has just been on such a roll that the dynamic between the two is just going to be a great match.
I don't know if Roxanne's gonna pull off the heel though. She's too damn cute. You know what I mean? She's just so cute. Like I'm rooting for her though. I am.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see.
She did
And
win
then-
the too, man.
She did as well, yes. Then we have the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. Trick and Mello versus Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, the Wolf Dogs, as they're now trying to call themselves.
Whoop that trick.
And I honestly don't know how this can go. I could see Trick and Mello, but Braun has just, I think, branched out so much more with Corbin that I could see them pushing them for some tag titles. But I also want to see Braun get that call up to SmackDown. So
Right. And Carmelo's already on SmackDown, right? Or
exactly.
Raw.
Yeah,
I can't
he's on
remember.
SmackDown. Yeah, he's on
He's
SmackDown.
on
as well.
SmackDown a few
So,
times.
it really is like you don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like something's going down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the setup for what will be Trick's doubleheader for the show, where he will be in the main event for the NXT Championship with Ilya Dragunov. And I think this is where, in my opinion, we see that Mellow turn. And I think he cost Trick the title, but I wouldn't be mad if Trick won either, because Trick is so hot right now
He is.
that it's
Lightning
there.
in a bottle.
Yes.
But how many times have they turned that down lately? Like, you know what I'm saying?
In the past
true.
year, it's been
Like Sammy,
hot.
LA Knight, Cody, all lightning in a bottle. Drew in out of the country. They have so many opportunities and they don't do it. So who knows?
Well, and even if
Yeah.
you stick with Ilya's a great champion as well. He's been doing great with carrying the title. That there's still challengers waiting, but man, Trick's just so hot. You can't, and I could see him.
Baby. I'm rooting for him.
And then we're here, like, I laugh every time he comes out, and hearing Booker do the grunts during the song, it's hilarious. So, but the last thing I was going to bring up is free agency. Kazuchika Okada, Mercedes Sasha Banks is apparently supposed to debut within the next month with AEW. With
Heard that.
Okada, yeah,
That's fine.
with Okada, I think that's an interesting wrinkle. Do you see him as an AEW guy, or do you think he has that chance where he's been vocal about, I want to be at WrestleMania? Do you think he could go?
In Japan. I really do. I think they're going to
So
ruin
are you saying win the Elimination Chamber and face Seth at Mania?
I mean,
I
the
don't-
possibility's there.
I don't see it for the WWE audience.
Yeah.
I don't. But also, again, I don't know what AEW will do with him, because honest to God, I still can't get past this Adam Copeland versus Minoru Suzuki, right? A couple
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did anybody have any interest in that? Because my issue was this. That was just another dream match, right? It was a dream match. Had no build, no story, no beef, but it was the main event. Does nothing for me. I'm sorry, nothing for me. How old is he?
Which one?
Suzuki,
They're both in their 50s, right? 60s?
yeah, 50s, yeah.
I'm over the dream match. I'm sorry. I know I sound like Bischoff. I'm over the dream match. I
Nothing
need some
different.
kind of I gotta have a reason why they're fighting, not for just respect. Especially in a main event.
Yeah, that should have been a Rampage match.
I'm sorry. I know that pisses off a lot of
Yeah.
people, but
You're good.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I don't know why.
we have real. It's not real. It's not. I know it's predetermined show for entertainment. We have sporting events that it was a dream match, you know, Kansas City versus San Francisco, but there's no story, you know, except for Taylor Swift.
That's the thing. He's been on Saturday nights doing the Cope Open or whatever, and all of a sudden goes to Dynamite and has a main event match with, you know, with whoever.
I still love AEW. I love watching it, but the dream match thing, I'm over it.
All right. So the last thing I'll hit you with, WWE 2K24 just got announced. The cover athletes, Cody Rhodes, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. As a guy who purchases that game every year because I am a nerd, do you guys have a favorite WWE video game, or just what's your favorite video game?
2008 WWE SmackDown versus Raw. Raw versus SmackDown, where you could climb on the outside of the cage, you could fight in the back. All that stuff was kind of new then, and it was neat. And I know it does not get good reviews.
Nintendo 64, WCW versus NWO World Tour.
Nice. Love that.
That's a good call out. Yep. Gotta love that one.
Like, was it Raw's War or was it Warzone? I can't remember the name of it. Had Stone Cold on there, played the
Warzone. Yep.
Shit out of that game.
Yep.
And I like the PlayStation. You know, there was a WCW versus the World on PlayStation. That was something. Boy,
oh, dude, absolutely. Those classic games always just ring true for everything. So.
Then that WrestleMania arcade one, that was cool.
I
love that game.
Loved it. Because it was so different. It was a WWE game, but it was more or less Mortal Kombat, which is what made it so much fun.
Like the Undertaker would do a leg drop and he'd jump up like 35 feet in the air and slam down. Yep. And Yoko, man, seeing those big ass legs, like bam, bam.
Oh, WWF cool. No Mercy. I forgot about that.
That is another good one, yeah.
Well,
I always go back to SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. It was really the newest. It's when they really changed the dynamic for the games. It was the first game that had blood in it. It was the introduction of the Elimination Chamber, you know, and then it was just an update for like graphics and how the players are presented in the game. And it just blew my mind as a kid. So that's the game I always go back to as one of my favorite games. So, but thank you guys for playing along, and Jane, back to you.
All right. Well,
here we go.
As we well, I don't want to be too loud on this segment, but it is the spirit of Tampa is how Brad put it. Of course I knew what it was going to be. The minute I was in Tampa, I knew it was going to be the spirit of Tampa. Obviously, like Adam mentioned, you know, we were at the Top Guy Rumbles from ad-free shows, I guess, and it was a fun time. Real good seeing everybody again. Shout out to Josh Fields, friend of the show. Got to make the first cut on Eric's hair because he won the trivia thing. So that was cool to see our boy up there, you know, doing that first cut. Miss B freaking out. You know, Garrett was there, and I'm going to see Garrett next month. And I was like, hey, man, I'm going to see you next month. And, you know, it's in Cocoa, but I kept saying Melbourne. But he's like, hell yeah. He's like, yeah, man, it's been about a year since I wrestled. I was like, oh, you mean last year's show? I was like, I was at that one too. But yeah, it was cool to see Garrett. God, he's ripped. And little WayJ was there, so it was cool to see WayJ running around playing. Let's see. Our boy, another friend of the show, which we need to have on again. And I told him, I think 15 times, like, dude, we owe you one. We owe you one. It's Dave McClay.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, because he's like, I didn't think you guys liked it. I was like, no, that was our StreamYard escapade. So for those in the archives, you'll definitely know which 4 episodes we're talking about when we say StreamYard.
Yeah,
and you know, you'll know which one we're talking about. Because we had a bad echo problem during those episodes. But yeah, once again, shout out Mike on that. Good looking.
Great idea. Glad you picked it.
Yeah, I mean, so shout out to Dave. You know, the funny thing is they gave away $1,000 was like what Dave won. So when he's on speakerphone with his wife, he's like, yeah, honey, and I just won $500.
First he said I won some money. first he said some money, then she's like, well, how much? She's like, 500.
So I got a good kick out of that.
That's,
say
I'm so proud of him too, man. That was an emotional deal.
That was, yeah, because he
that was
actually
like the
talked
first
to me.
time
And
he's seen his dad in 3 years and stuff, man. It was unreal.
Yeah, his dad was there too. Like, I mean, with the Tiger Kid thing in Huntsville, and then with the Dave thing, like at this, like you really can't write that stuff, you know. And it's just as Allison, shout out, friend of the show, as she was saying on last night on the Top Guy Wednesday Zoom, she was like, that Conrad dust, man. There's something magical about Conrad. It really is. And I got to talk to Conrad quite a bit, you know, over the weekend. It was cool to actually like talk to the Podfather himself, you know.
Definitely.
Cassio's awesome. One of my biggest highlights, and you know, I'll just say it. We were doing that Hulk Hogan trivia thing, and Hogan comes up there and makes an appearance, and my allergies hit hard. I teared up in front of 30 fucking people because I'm like just staring at him like fuck. And I know, you know,
That's
I
our
know
childhood, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
jealous as hell.
whatever recent things and all that stuff, it is what it is. I'm
I was
not
there
talking
with
about
you,
that.
brother.
But,
I know it.
Yeah, that's
but
a hero of
staring
mine
at that,
too,
I was
man.
like, holy fuck! Like he's the reason we all watched, we all still watch. Like there he is in the flesh, and I just remember like, I mean, hell, I got fucking 3 Hulk Hogan figures right here, you know. And this is gonna, you know, get a little emotional, but like I saw him, and it was just like a full circle moment. And the first thing I thought of was like me and my dad fucking watching wrestling, cheering the bag, like, come on, Hulk, come on, you know, and he makes that fucking comeback. He's like, starts hulking up, then does the you. And I was just like, imagining like me and my dad, like as a kid. And it was fucking awesome. You know, my dad goes to all the Top Guy weekends with me. So it was like, I was like, you know, like it kind of, it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really awesome. Uh, Shout out to the Pops, Randy. I saw Hulk Hogan this weekend, man. You know, like look at us, you know, little us. And then yeah, it was just awesome,
Get
man.
together, you don't bring him.
Yeah. Immediately thought of the Pops, man. I was like, fuck yeah. And you know, it brings me around to like how cool have the last 3 years been? You know? Like it made me think of like all the ad-free shows and like, you know, because I was kind of getting back into wrestling, listening to Bruce's podcast, and when the ad-free shows thing happened, jumped on board, and what a ride. You know, I've seen wrestling all over the nation. I've met awesome people. We started a fucking podcast. We're doing pretty good. Shout out Ireland still. That's nuts. But
Can't fall out of favor with them for some reason.
shout out. I love it. Yeah, man. Fucking got to see Brutus come out there. Fucking Cassio got punched by Ronnie Garvin.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that, man. I went to go see Rhea Ripley. And
Yeah, I hear you. Mike C and Paulie B, you know, fucking, I think
awesome.
I was zooted seeing Paulie B. Like I just talked his ear off, and I was like, it's so awesome to see you. It's so awesome to see you, man. We got to get a picture. We got to get a picture. I think I asked him for a picture like 20 times. I was
Man,
just
he's
pumped
tall,
up.
huh?
Huh?
He's tall.
Way tall.
Yeah, because you're tall.
Mike's
And I
Mike
lost all.
Chioda is into everything, man. He was
Chioda
all
was
up for
cool.
doing whatever.
He was kicking it, answering a shitload of questions. We even got
I
him
had
like
my freaking referee shirt. I wasn't thinking about it until somebody's like, "Hey, since you got your shirt, you should get him to sign it." And I was like, "Okay, shit." I got him some referee shirt.
That was fucking awesome. Adam got his shirt signed by Mike Chioda.
Yeah, that one right there.
So badass. I think I was fanboying out heavy watching Chioda sign. I was like, how fucking cool is that? You know? Oh, man. Yeah, Mike C.
But I'll tell you what, that I was jealous of the Hulk Hogan thing. It's like you said, that's why we're fans. And I mean, he's bigger than life for me.
I cried in front of 30 people, didn't give a shit. Yeah. You know, and I was just like, holy fuck, that's awesome.
I had a moment. I mean, I contained it, but I was on that breaking point, man. I was
boy, I tried to contain it. My +1, Brandon, looks at me. He's like, damn, you for real? And I was like, yeah, dude, this is huge. Like, this is fucking huge.
I wrote a paper of he's my hero in 4th grade. I turned it in.
Dude, I remember being 5 years old in my room because I had the curtains, the comforter, and I was, doing the poses and the thing with my ears, and did all that, man.
I had a slam buddy. I had a Hogan slam buddy.
Yes, that one. It was either Macho Man or Ultimate Warrior.
Hey, my LGN figures are broken. because I played with them that often. Yes, I bought
My
new ones.
mom,
They're broken.
my mom loves to tell the story. My first words were Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
That's how big he was.
When he turned heel, I was legit pissed, and I watched every week for him to get his comeuppance and Sting. Like, that's still one of the greatest years of wrestling, in my opinion. But yeah, man, what a fun time. Fucking just kicking it, fellowshipping, you know. And I told everybody, like, because, like, obviously I've bitched about my job enough on this podcast, but I was fucking ready for that vacation. Ever since we left Huntsville, I was like, January, January. It's all I kept thinking. Every time, like, life kind of got down, January,
Yeah.
January. Just let's go to January. Let's go to January. Gonna make it to January. And it was fucking incredible. Oh, man.
Awesome.
Let's see what else. Yeah, kicking it with everybody. I drank, I don't know, 100 beers in 3 days. I'm pretty sure I was. I
Seems
could I
light.
drank so much I could have got like 3 people drunk with how much I drank. But man, it was just awesome. See, meeting people. Shout out Genesis. Because that was funny. I was just standing in Hogan's Beach Shop, and this girl like walks up next to me and just stares at me and goes, "Hey." And I just turned, I'm like, "Hey." And they're like, "You don't know who that is, dude?" I'm like, "No."
Why
And then I
would
think
you?
Adam was like, "That's Genesis." I was like, "Oh shit." Some girls, the D'Angelo brothers got to kick it with both of them. Marcus and Dominic got a picture with them. One of them put me on their Instagram story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Getting famous over there, I see.
Shit, trying. I think
We got to talk to Marcus a lot too about the Jake the Snake podcast and how it is just interviewing with him, talking with him. Just it was awesome just listening to him talk about Jake.
And
Yeah.
when Hogan came up there, like I was watching, then I look over and I see this camera pointing directly at our table, like because they were shooting something. I see a camera pointing directly at our table, and I'm in my blue Kick Out Crew shirt. I'm like, it's kind of inching over like at the camera, and I did put up my hands, and they were kind of shaking. I looked dead at the camera, looked at my hands. So they got to put that part on there, and KOC baby right across the chest, brother. And then Hogan's like, I may end up entering number 30. And I was like, you got one more in you. And you can hear my ass yell that. If y'all watch that video, that's me yelling that in the background.
And then he freaking starts to rumble off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was a lot of fun, man. It was a good, well-needed break from, the stresses of life. I got to sit back and relax, as we like to say on here. And, the only reason I got to have that experience is, guess what? Every time we got pinned down, kicked at it too. And some would say that is the spirit of Tampa.
Awesome. I'm glad you guys had a good time, really.
That was fucking epic. Even talking about Hogan on the way home, I was like, yeah, that was really cool. Brand's like, you gonna cry again? I was like, that's Hogan.
It did suck not having y'all with us though.
Yeah.
makes me get excited for the next adventure. Rumor has it, rumor has it that we could be Waterloo bound. And your boy, I don't even know if I told y'all this, your boy is gonna have a plaque by the time we get to Waterloo, because I bought that fucking lifetime membership thing like last week.
Awesome. That's great to hear, man. Fantastic.
Yeah, I see some lady sent me a text. Was like, what do you want your plaque to say? And I was like, I just put just my name, Kick Out Crew, motherfucker.
Make sure they spell it right.
Yeah, I did. Should have put Kick Out Crew. My bad. You gotta sign up for another one now. But yeah, so maybe we walk into Waterloo. You can see old James's plaque up there.
I'll when I go, I'll make sure to point at it if you're not there.
Oh,
but I hope
fucking
to see,
better. Me and my dad better be there for old Schiavone.
I was about to say, I better see you out there though.
I want to be there for Tony. Schiavone means a lot to me too. He's part of this 3-year journey. You know what I'm saying? It just, what a crazy ride these past 3 years have been. And none of it happens without like wrestling. None of it. Wrestling changed my life as an adult. Straight up did. And it's cool. Got to meet y'all. Started this, met a bunch of amazing people. Like, there's people I hang out with on my daily life. Little, could be a little shady. They may throw you under the bus at any given opportunity. You never really can trust people. But with my wrestling friends, I can vent to any of them about anything.
Absolutely.
Lord knows y'all are on the receiving end of a bunch of them. And I appreciate it. But yeah, man, it's just how fucking cool. Like, so it's just fun stuff, man. I really dug it, and it was just awesome. But
You know what
enough
else
about
is
me.
awesome?
The second match? well, are we going to go to the second match?
Yeah, let's do it, bud.
Hell yeah. It is Big Show versus Mark Henry for the World Heavyweight Championship from Vengeance, or GEA as that graphic shows, from Vengeance 2011. It took place October 23rd, 2011 from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas.
So I'm jumping in here for a minute because this doesn't make any sense to me. We're in San Antonio, Texas, and you have all of these trees in front of this building. Okay, beautiful trees, right? Beautiful. The part that makes no sense to me, because we'll go to picture number 2 here, it's all parking lot around it. This is all concrete. And then you have this little tree part right up front here where you have these random patches of grass and everything. What is this for? You're in Texas. Yes, it's very hot. You want some shade, but you're going in like a couple minutes. What's the point?
You know what's funny is that you kind of set us up for this, right? And I was looking at this building like I didn't know where you were going. But now
this picture looks badass.
All about presentation, baby.
I mean, let's look at this first picture again. All these trees, so beautiful, so majestic. And then you look at the
Spurs, go.
And then the second picture just makes you goes, oh, it's all concrete. It's clearly just trying to sucker you in to go into the building.
Timmy D. Sorry. Huge Tim Duncan fan. Yeah, that first picture looks
almost
awesome.
looks fake.
And then you do this
fake.
zoomed out one, and it looks, yeah.
It looks like something you could like, play miniature golf on.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But it just makes, like I said, you see all these trees and this grass, and then it's like all concrete around it to serve no purpose.
Yeah, but if it was just a build with a bunch of cars, I'd be like, oh, this building is plain. It sucks.
I mean, maybe, but like most arenas don't have stuff like this around them. They're just here's the parking lot, here's your arena.
The trees are there to help you breathe better. I don't know.
I just imagine like these trees, like, oh, it's 150 degrees in Texas, so with the pavement, all those trees have to be just
a lot of watering going on.
A lot of watering. Yes.
True.
So yeah, I just have to bring this up because it just blows my mind. Like,
it looks like it pissed you off. Yeah.
Every
picture.
picture.
About it, brother.
I have been. I've been thinking about this since I was looking up pictures for this, going, this makes no sense at all. No reason for this.
It doesn't make sense. Wembanyama, let's go, baby. He looks like a fucking alien. That dude is so, and he is a badass.
Oh yeah, he is, man.
Oh, he is great.
I hope the Spurs can put a fucking team around him because he's legit and he's young. He's like 19 or 20 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a sight to see. Speaking of big shows,
There it is.
You know what was a sight to see? This match, and it had 8,000 in attendance, and it had a buy rate of 121,000. You can tell those are some lean years for the old WWE. Had a match length of 12 minutes and 50 seconds, and guess what? Meltsy Melts and the Funky Bunch. Get ready for this. 3.25 stars.
Wow.
What?
We've covered some bangers,
That's
and this
generous.
assholes gave them like 1.5 stars, and then 3.25 on this one.
That was generous.
well,
That's very generous.
I don't know if that's fair, Adam. I mean, there is a story being told in this match, and I appreciate that he even notices that because there's a lot going on here. So let's get into it. Big Show entrance, completely different looking guy this time, isn't he? Isn't he, Mike? I'm sorry, isn't he, James?
Yeah, he is.
You want to do the build up to the match?
Let's do the build up first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how did we get there?
Adam? Yeah.
There's the outline that you made, man.
I got confused.
What happened?
I'll be more than happy to do the build for you.
Oh, I'm sorry, pal.
All right, so back in June of 2011, the Big Show got in some trouble for putting his hands on Alberto Del Rio because they were supposed to square off at Capital Punishment, But Teddy Long decided to teach Big Show a lesson and stuck
Shout
him
out in the back. Hey.
Oh my goodness. All right, so before the match could even officially start, the Big Show attacked Mark Henry with a kick, several punches, and even knees to the head. Mark Henry was wheeled out on a stretcher and said he suffered a concussion.
You can
So
stand
today-
up and walk by. It's not that big of a deal.
So 2 days later, at Capital Punishment, Mark Henry appeared and attacked Big Show before the start of the match, with Del Rio delivering a World's Strongest Slam through the announcer's table and consequently costing Big Show the match. So the feud picked up when the Big Show's music played, distracted Mark Henry long enough for him to lose his #1 contendership. So the two faced off at Money in the Bank, where Mark Henry picked up the win, celebrated by crushing the Big Show's foot with a chair, injuring him and keeping him off TV for almost 4 months. So during that time, Mark Henry defeated Sheamus, Randy Orton, and Night of Champions, becoming the first time him winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And he ended up beating him again at Hell in the Cell. And then the SmackDown after that, Big Show comes back and says, I want my title shot. And that's where we are. We got Big Show versus Mark Henry.
Harukin.
Great job, Adam.
Yeah.
All right, there he is.
There
Big
he
Show
is.
entrance. He looks completely different, doesn't he, James?
He sure does. So nice. I hear this question twice. I do kind of like that that beanie, the toboggan thing. I kind of think that's pretty cool.
Where do you think he gets that made at?
Huh?
Well, that's pretty. I mean, he's got a big ass head.
Right? It was probably a sweater, and they just grabbed it and put it on his head. But no, I dig it. His little redemption tour coming back from getting his leg smashed or whatever. So yeah, I like it.
All right, we got a Mark Henry entrance. Bryant, how do you like the whole presentation with the music and everything?
I think that theme song is very underrated. It is a banger, as the kids like to say.
What are the words? Like somebody's going to get their ass kicked or something like that?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get their wig split.
And they had the song made by 3-6 Mafia right after they had won an Academy Award. So it just made it feel that much
trick.
Just made it feel that much bigger. And then it made him more distinguishable, that you knew when that music hit, things were going to get serious with this character.
Yeah, I like it too, for sure. James, who do you announce
for a pimp? Sorry, I had to. Hustle and Flow, great movie.
Absolutely.
It is a great movie. And who are the announcers?
Glad you asked. It is Booker T, Michael Cole, and Jerry the King Lawler.
Shout out to them, all the people behind them.
Yeah, Cole Cabana shirt.
Yeah, Cole Cabana shirt. I don't know what that guy's doing with his hands.
That dude, the dude with the little whatever you call that thing, right? The soul patch thing, whatever.
Yeah.
When later on in the match, Mark Henry does something, that dude's like, "You're a quitter! You're a quitter!" And you can hear him loud as fucking audio. Like, it was funny.
Adam, who's
really excited, don't they?
They do.
Who's the referee? Adam.
A man by the name of Chad Patton.
Very nice. Bryant, knowing the size of these guys before watching this, did you think they were capable of having a good match?
Truthfully, no. Mark Henry's
not a 3-star match. No.
Not a 3-star match, absolutely. Mark Henry at this point was still not known for having decent matches, let alone a good match. And Big Show, at this point in his career, was past his prime and was just kind of used as that help getting a guy over role.
Mm-hmm. So they lock up, real life friends here. James, any friends of yours that you would fight regularly while you were growing up?
But not really. That's a strange. Hey, what's up, bud?
Well, it was a mic question. It was a mic question.
Wrestling around, yeah, I guess, but not like. I
had relatives that we'd fight like that. Yeah.
I didn't know which one of you to pick, and I just
the way you were talking is like I just went straight up to like fist punch like fights. Like we'd wrestle around. We had our own little wrestling federation growing up, homemade belts and stuff. But this lockup, these are two large ass dudes going in for a lockup. Like, just want to point that out. Go ahead.
Big Show punching the hell out of Henry. Henry leaves the ring. Big Show throws Henry in the ring, headbutt, super kick to the jaw. Looks good here, but does the ref not know how to count, Adam?
Oh, he's still learning. I mean, you want to get in between them two guys?
Can we talk about the sweet form of the super kick from the Big Show? Like, look at
Right?
this, full extension, everything, professional. Young
Throw,
Bucks learned well.
throw the hand up because that counterbalances you.
I don't see nobody slapping no fouls in that picture.
Boom.
There it is.
James, how does someone as big as Show move around the ring so good? I mean, this guy's just a gold mine, isn't he?
That would have been a better question for the last match. But yeah, I mean, he is obviously just shitting and getting it, Because here's the thing, like with a dude that big, like both of these guys, actually, it may be slow on the takeoff, but once you get them rolling, better get the fuck off the tracks when that train's moving,
This is 15 years later from the other match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still in there doing it.
Crazy to think.
And he just wrestled on Jericho's cruise.
The Dapper Yapper hands Mark Henry the title. Shout out. But Show breaks it up. I mean, now they're both on the outside. Mark Henry attacks the legs, body slammed the Big Show with ease. Holy hell. I mean, freaking A. Unbelievable. Henry,
there's, everybody talks about Hogan slamming Andre. Mark Henry picked him up, turned him, and slammed him.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Picked him up, turned him, and then dropped him. Hogan just kind of, Mark
And
Henry.
they said 441 pounds.
That's how you slam somebody, man. I'd hate to piss off Mark Henry.
Yeah, he is a nice guy, so you piss him off, right?
Yeah.
And his son is, woo. I think his son's a senior this year, maybe just graduated or something.
I think he's a little taller than Mark Henry,
Good
too.
grief, that kid is something else too.
Absolutely. Henry drops the shoulder. Mark Henry dropping his weight on the legs and ankles. So, Bryant, do these guys remind you of Evan Bourne, like the King said?
I didn't like when King said that. I was like, what? I'm waiting for like Big Show now. Now I want Mark Henry to do a shooting star press really badly. Like I just want to see him go for it and just see what happens.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, oh. Mark Henry with a leg submission. Show selling it really, really, really well. But are they keeping you, James? Are they keeping you engaged with this long submission hold?
Well, better than when it was like take one hit, powder out to the ring, take one hit, go out to the ring, or out of the ring. I think this, granted, it is a little slowish, but I think it does keep the attention more than take a hit, roll under the ring. Oh, because I kind of get a little old sometimes. So yeah, I kind of like this actual doing a move in a wrestling match. Crazy.
I totally agree. I actually think it did keep me engaged, but
yeah,
I was really wanted your honest opinion there, and you gave it to me, and that was a good answer.
It takes effort to lie, Brad, and I'm lazy.
Adam, as a referee, are you worried about the ring holding up with such behemoths in the ring?
Oh no, some of them. I mean, if it was a ring that I first trained in, hell yeah, I wouldn't let Mark Henry get in there by himself. But some of these rings, I mean, yeah, I trust them.
So the story of the leg is being told here, isn't it, Bryant?
Absolutely, you got to chop the Big Show down to size somehow.
Yeah, he's twisting the leg and the ankle. Show kicks him off. They run into each other like two rams. And now the ref is counting. Thank God for that. They're fighting from their knees, headbutts. So, James, do you think they called this whole thing in the ring, or do you think they planned it ahead of time?
Very good question. Honestly, you would think that they would have to know some of the spots going in, but I would assume that even when they got in there, they're like, hey, we're going to do this. Hey, now do this. Now do this, But maybe you need to go back and watch the Botchamania. Shout out Matthew, because to see if they talk too much,
I bet they called the heat spot and the hope spot. I bet that's about all they called. Everything else was in the ring.
I agree. I think some of it, mix of it. I don't think all of it, but I mean, they're two pros. They've been in the business a long time, and they're friends.
I think they just had a couple of things they know they wanted to hit on. Everything else was.
And it's not a super. It actually is a pretty long match for them, but it's not 25 minutes.
Yeah, and it is a pay-per-view, so you got to kind of at least get to double-digit minutes on a pay-per-view.
Shoulder blocks by Show, body slam Show, raises the hand. That was not good. Choke slam, but Mark Henry kicks out. We don't see him do that too much, do we, James?
That was a good choke slam, man.
I was about to
Mark,
say, that
got
was a
some
damn good
edge.
choke slam. I
Yeah.
liked it.
It was
But yeah, here's the thing though, like, because they said that like kick it out of the power slam or whatever, and then kick it out of the choke slam and stuff. As big dudes, you kind of have to kick out of those moves, don't you? Compared to like if they were wrestling like average size, quote quote, even though they're all yoked, average size guy, like as a big guy, when you slam them, like you kind of have to kick out, at least of the first one.
like an Evan Bourne.
You were on that.
Hey, Kofi, don't forget about
I just
Kofi.
thought, I mean, listen, they're big guys and they're athletic, but Evan, we're not in the same game here. It was just funny
No.
though. But I know he was kind of half kidding. Big Show trying for the knockout punch, but Mark Henry counters with the world's strongest slam kick out show. Now that was even a tough move to pull off for Mark Henry, wasn't it, Adam?
I mean, he got him up there. He didn't hold him up there alone, but you talk about close to 450 pounds.
Yeah.
He got him up pretty easily.
So Mark Henry says, "What? What?" That was pretty funny. Mark Henry climbing to the top, which you knew wasn't going to go well. The Big Show choke slams him off. Kick out, Mark Henry. Crowd's starting to get into it now. Now, Big Show going to the top. I mean, Adam, I want to go back to you on this. Is this to help them with the tossing around?
Now say that one more time.
So they went up to the top rope twice.
Yeah.
Is this help? Is this giving them some leverage, like some help tossing them?
Well, I mean, it kind of builds up to something big, like oh, okay, well, one tried it, well, the other guy tried it. Well, if this ain't going to work, it just kind of builds up to something greater coming up because a regular choke slam ain't going to work. Well, hell, we'll try a choke slam from the top. That didn't work, so we got to go for something even bigger. So it's kind of building up to something marvelous that we see happen later.
So now here it is, the move of the night. Suplex off the top by Mark Henry, and the ring breaks. The crowd is on fire for this. On fire. Both men out. I mean, guys, this is a work or a shoot.
You tell me.
I
I just
care,
watched
I know
30
that
men
thing's
in
a-
a ring and they didn't break.
That's what I got to say about it.
What'd you say, Adam? You didn't
Oh,
speak.
you know,
We didn't hear you.
100%, you know good well.
I know. I love it though. So,
I mean, if you can't tell, then I don't know what to say.
I mean, Adam, how long is it going to take to set this ring back up?
They're not going to worry about it because the next match doesn't get to use the ring.
Okay, well, then thanks for not answering that.
It's usually putting it up doesn't take as long as taking it down.
Heyo.
So announcers seem lost. Doctors, referees, stretchers everywhere. I mean, this is an attraction, not a 5-star match, of course. It's an attraction match, but that suplex off the top is a 5-star move. I'm sorry, it is. So I just had to throw that out there. That is two big men doing something really risky and pulling it off and getting this crowd real freaking excited. That's
Look
why
at that
this
crowd.
that's why this match is 3.5 stars, because of that move. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, absolutely. It's all that move.
That's the only
Absolutely.
reason why.
I thought it was 3.5 stars because they brought out the stretcher and realized this ain't gonna work. So then they bring out that fucking cart thing, and the dude almost Austin Powers himself trying to turn it around.
Golf
I like
cart.
how Chad Patton sold pretty good too, man. Him going down and boom.
So golf cart with the flatbed for show. All right. So just a disclaimer, guys. We kind of talked about this ahead of time. Look, we know there's some stuff going on in the news right now with Johnny Laurinaitis, Vince McMahon, and Brock Lesnar. We're going to continue to do our show. We don't condone anything that happened. We of course have respect for anybody that was affected by this, and we are not making fun of it in any way. But Johnny Laurinaitis was part of this story, and we are going to just bring him up. So Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis out there. Holla, playa, people power. EMT with his best Beatles haircut. I guess I just wrote that.
No, the guy driving the golf cart did one of those Austin Powers things where he tried to back it up, forward,
Yeah.
back it up, forward, back it up, forward, right there in the middle of the walkway.
Oh, that part. I was like,
Yeah.
the 2 miles an hour, and he's standing there trying to get run over.
No, because he drove down there forward, then he had to turn it around, and he goes backwards, forward, trying to turn the thing around. It reminded me of Austin Powers.
Oh yeah,
How funny
loved
is
it.
that original Austin Powers? My God.
Oh,
When I
great.
first saw that, I was dying.
I watched Wayne's World again last week. It was so good.
So like I said, this is pretty drawn out for a while. I mean, did they go on a little too long here, Bryant?
I think so. I think they could have probably sped it up a little bit, but I understand you want to create that dramatic effect of, what just happened in the ring. And even with Mark Henry getting out of the ring, throwing everybody off and then just collapsing like a couple times in the aisleway, I'm like, okay, like let's get him back there already.
Yeah, he's a heel for sure here. Fall all over the place. And again, John Laurinaitis talks. That was not good. But yeah, just gonna say that, but not good.
And it
So
was
anyway,
crazy that they had one more match to go. It's kind of like, what are they going to do about this match?
I mean,
And
it
that's
should be the
probably why
last
I
match
was,
that's gonna
Paul's gonna
happen,
do
right?
it.
You got to main event that match because of that. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I understand what they did. It was, count of 10, you got it, it's last man standing. So the match could go anywhere. So I understand why they had that type of match. It would have been just a regular, one fall, whatever, regular match, it wouldn't have happened. But I think the only reason why they did that here is because they knew they had a last man standing match last.
so guys, that's it for the match.
Oh, and shout out to the ring crew because they're probably like, hey, like 30 minutes of our work's done. Shit's already loosened up.
So I'm going to go to the questions now, guys, and I'm actually turning one of them into a semi-segment because I did the research. So shout out to Coach Keith, who says,
Saw it this weekend too.
This weekend.
Can we find out how many face and heel turns the Big Show went through? And has he had more turns at Big Show or Natalia? So
hey, before we should all guess a number. Do you know the number?
I wrote them all down, and I'm going to go through them one at a time.
Oh, God, this is going to be great.
So, 1995, the Giant debuts WCW as a heel with the Dungeon of Doom. 1996, by default, he becomes the 1996 face, the 1996 WCW champion against the NWO. 1996 again, he becomes a heel and betrays the WCW and joins the NWO. 1996, he turns face and wants to wrestle Hogan for the title. 1998, heel, joins the NWO. 1999, babyface after a finger poke of doom and was just pissed off about it. Correct me if I'm wrong on some of this, Bryant, but because I didn't get into too much detail, I just think it's funny though. In 1999, he joins the WWF as a heel for the St. Valentine's Day Massacre debut. 1999 again, he is a babyface, takes out McMahon at WrestleMania 15. 1999 again, he is a heel, teams with Taker, the Unholy Alliance. Yet again, 1999, he turns face, WWE title winner, replacing Steve Austin. 2000, he becomes a heel, Injustice at the Rumble, feuds with The Rock. 2000 again, face, comedy act, parodies Piper and Hogan. 2000 again, he becomes a heel and attacks The Undertaker and then joins OVW. How about
joins
that?
OVW?
He is demoted to OVW.
Yeah.
2001, he becomes face because of the WCW invasion. 2002, he turns heel and joins the NWO. 2002, he turns face, and his for only reason is he's traded to SmackDown.
Yep.
2002, he becomes a heel and sides with Paul Heyman. Survivor Series. 2004, he becomes a face and feuds with Kurt Angle. 2006, he becomes a heel and sides with Paul Heyman again. 2008, he turns face. He just had time away and comes back at No Way Out, and he's a face now. 2008, he becomes a heel for Floyd Mayweather. 2008, he becomes a face, and we're not sure why. 2008, he is a heel, turns on Taker, affair with Vicky Guerrero. 2009, beats Jericho to earn and becomes face to earn spot at Bragging Rights pay-per-view. 2009, turns heel at Bragging Rights. Turns on Team Raw. It's fucking ridiculous. 2010, face turn. Face because he turns on Miz. 2012, heel turn to get his job back from Johnny Ace. 2013, turns face, aligns with Sheamus and Orton against the Shield. 2013, turns heel, lost to the Shield, turns to the dark side. 2013, he turns face, stands up to the authority. 2014, turns heel, rejoins the authority. 2015, face helps against the helps in facing the Wyatts. 2018, turns heel, puts Kofi through a table. 2018, turns face off against the fell out of favor with the Bar. You know the Bar, the tag team.
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was like
Yeah, right.
there,
I read it twice too, James.
yeah.
2020, heel to face Drew McIntyre as a replacement in WrestleMania for the COVID era.
Yep.
And 2020 turns face because he helped for some reason help the Viking Raiders. I don't have any of the AEW stuff because I think he's been mostly a commentator, but I would say he's mostly a face with some edge.
Yep. Face with some edge there, yeah.
And
You're
that
still
was
talking? Good God.
fun.
I went to the bathroom, went for a drink and everything, and thinking you'd be done.
That is unbelievable. So yes, he's had more than Natalia.
God,
I did not do the Natalia ones because it wasn't as readily available. But I mean, Natalia turned 3 times at least last year, but he's done 5 in a year.
Oh, easily.
Instead of the man of 1,000 holds, it's the man of 1,000 turns.
I mean, the same year. The bragging rights thing cracked me up. It was literally like a month. Oh, all right.
But like I was like, gets traded face. Well, all right.
I know I could have gone in a little more detail, but we only have a 3-hour show tonight, right?
We'd have been here all night. Yeah, we'd have been here all night.
So that was fun, though. I appreciate that, Keith. So I had fun doing that. So Josh Henney wants to know. He wants to know the evolution of his hair and weight. I did all the research on this. Look, he had that disease. I don't know when he got it fixed, but he still
got it fixed.
What?
He got it fixed when he was young.
Okay,
it was
pretty
early.
Young. It was before. It was still while he was in high school.
But he still looks like he's getting bigger everywhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
well, and that was actually part of the demotion.
That's part of it, James. That's one of the organs.
Yeah, that was actually part of the demotion in 2000 when he got sent to OVW. Is because he'd gained too much weight, and they sent him to OVW as a way to help him lose weight and get back into shape.
They had a buzz cut.
I did like the long hair as the Giant. I thought that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So, anybody else have anything on that? I liked it. Thanks, Josh Henney. Hope you're feeling good, man.
Well, can we talk about Kurt shooting him with a trank gun so that way he could shave his head?
I forget this shit.
I mean,
so much stuff happened with the Big Show.
Yeah.
All right,
what
so
about the boss man driving off? The coffin
with his
thing?
dad at
Oh
the funeral. Yeah.
man, what a career! That fucker should have a podcast.
All I can think about is the story Kurt Angle told us.
So Bryant, I'm gonna read Bober's question. I think I have it somewhat right here, but you're gonna know because you just know shit. Please discuss how Big Show was fired twice in the same city about a year apart. So I looked it up. Johnny Laurinaitis fires Big Show May 14, 2012 for making fun of his voice. And Stephanie McMahon fires Big Show on October 7, 2013, basically for falling out of favor with the authority. Or they were calling him a loser, like he lost a step.
Yes.
Is there more of that missing?
No. So the Laurinaitis thing was to set up the match with John Cena. So they had Big Show come in, and then Big Show was going to help him part of the heel turn for another heel turn. And then, the Stephanie one was because of the authority, and then help kind of bring him back in. And then that's how we would face Randy Orton for the title at Survivor Series.
Okay. All right.
I
So
thought he might have found out stuff he didn't need to find out, and they fired him.
So, Ben Jones, would the character of Captain Insano from the movie Waterboy have worked in the WWE? And if so, what era would be best for it?
Oh, the late 80s, man, fighting Hogan.
Oh, dude.
Hogan versus Captain Insano?
I don't know. He could have fit in that early 90s WWE, the heavy gimmick era. I think he would have been great in that, too, because especially paying him off as that giant, they've been great.
I love Captain Insano.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Has Shawn Michaels ever super kicked Big Show? Because that'd be like a fucking way high kick.
What Brian? Could he do it, Bryant?
He has done it because when he does it, Big Show leans over so that way he can hit him.
He ducks his chin, unlike what Cassio didn't do.
Hands of stone, baby. He felt that Roddy Garvin punch.
So there's 2 questions here. I'm gonna read them both because they're similar. Alex Wheaton and Ben Jones. Ben Jones writes, what role did he play better, babyface or heel? And Alex Wheaton says, do you guys think the traditional babyface role actually worked for Big Show and Mark Henry? To the casual wrestling fan, do you think it's hard for them to feel sympathy for a giant or the world's strongest man? So I wanted to put those together because I feel like we're going to be answering them similarly. Anyone?
Shout out Alex Wheaton. Met him this weekend too.
Yeah, cool guy.
Yep. I think he's better off as heel, and I think they both are better off as heel because Mark Henry's just a big badass, and it's hard to get sympathy for a 7'4" guy. You know, when he's going up against like a Shawn Michaels or something, because he looks like the big boss at the end of the game you got to destroy to get the golden ring or to the castle or whatever it is. So I think he's always needs to be heel. Never should have been a babyface.
I don't agree. I think a giant, like an Andre the Giant, for instance, for me, he was a hero of mine, and it was only when he was a good guy that he was a hero of mine. When he turned on Hogan, I didn't like him anymore. And I liked him as that gentle giant that basically was good to everybody, but took care of business when he had to. And I feel the same way about the Big Show. And my son, when he was little, loved the Big Show because he was the biggest. That's why. And he was nice. But I mean, at least some of the time, right? He probably couldn't keep up. So and then Mark Henry, I mean, Sexual Chocolate was the guy, right?
That's hilarious. I love that. That was so fun for him. And you could tell he had fun with it. And that's the thing. If you embrace it and do it to what your fullest capacity.
Well, that was his idea, I believe. He's the one that pitched it to Vince, and Vince's like, no.
Right.
And I think he finally let him do it.
Yeah, it was good stuff. What do you think, James?
I think because I kind of think like heel because he's so big, but then sometimes like you cheer that, like you said, like this big ass dude, like I'm gonna cheer for him to beat everybody up, you know. So I can see both of it. Speaking of that Sexual Chocolate thing, Seth Rollins had an interview where he kind of said like, hey, you know, you're giving this and you better do it to your fucking fullest ability, your potential. Don't bitch and moan like your typecast is that, do that. And with that Sexual Chocolate thing, you know, even though it was his idea, like you're giving that ball, you better fucking run with it, you know?
Yeah. Brian, did you have an opinion on this?
Oh, I was just saying, I agree. I mean, I think Big Show is a rare exception where he can do both. Like he was good in both roles.
Right?
I mean, you outlined it perfectly. He can do it both, and I think that's a huge thing for him.
In the same night.
Well, everybody talks shit about the many faces of Big Show, but we were cheering him and booing him a lot. Like we're part of that. You
exactly.
know?
Yep.
Randy Alcarai has a question.
Shout out.
Had Big Show continued, or Paul Wight continued his basketball career, do you think he could have impacted the NBA, even though they say his athleticism wasn't good enough? And yes, he played Northern Oklahoma College before Wichita State. Shout out.
Yeah, you got to throw that in there.
Well, you know, you look at someone like Shaquille O'Neal, who's obviously a giant man, and if you look at his early days, he was awkward, you know, and who knows? You know, I mean, Big Show was very athletic. I don't know if it's NBA worthy, but
Shaq was a badass.
Well, let's look at this guy. Look at this guy here. Look at that athleticism, number 50 there. I mean,
God, he's not that much taller than that guy.
He's not much taller than these guys that are on this team.
This is a great team. Because that guy's gonna be 6'8", 6'10", right?
Could you imagine them like watching them walk on the court and be like, "Well, got our hands full today, boys."
Yeah.
You know, being on.
He's obviously a center, and he's gonna kill you.
Because I was about to say, you sub him out, and then you just look at the next guy coming in who's not that much shorter. And you're like, well, okay, never mind. We're not getting any better here.
Everybody's built like holy hell. This team, huh?
Yeah.
So I don't know enough about his athleticism then, but I mean, I know he's an athletic guy.
But you look at big guys in the NBA, they always falter knees, go out early. I mean, sometimes they just can't handle the up and down and the physicality of the league.
Yeah, that really kills your knees.
Oh yeah.
Bobby Duncan. I am so ready for this question. I told him to.
Hey, Bobby, your mama.
Why do you think the Giant was granted a WCW title shot run by Hogan? I agree with Bischoff that big men don't need titles because they are big men in Giants. So I'm going to tell you right now, Hogan saw money in him and wanted to work with him. And Hogan was the guy with the title. That's why. He saw money.
Having memories of him and Andre. And I was okay, we made money, so why not make money?
WrestleMania 3 made a few dollars, right?
Right.
Make money. Maybe not the same, but pretty good.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, Eric, you should let me throw that motherfucker off a building.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was
But
so
first,
ready
we
because
need to have a fucking monster truck like push off.
I'm sure
And then I
Nash
need to
didn't
throw
mind,
that fucker off a building.
I'm sure Nash didn't mind working with him either.
Yeah.
'Cause he counts his dollars.
Yeah.
Shout out to his show last week, huh?
Oh wow!
Oh
Talk
my
about
God.
controversy.
Wow. Yeah.
Man, he had some things to say. Still love you, Kevin. No, still love you, but wow. I had to tell all the guys to listen in right away.
Jeez.
And shout out to that power bomb, huh? Good stuff. The old power bomb on old Paul Wight.
Woo! All right, final question is from Amy, and this is a doozy. It actually comes from Andrew Hermes, but Amy shared it. What are 5 topics you can talk about for 30 minutes unprepared? So I wrote some down. I can talk about Kofi Kingston feud with Daniel Bryan for 30 minutes unprepared. I can talk about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl in the 2018 season every minute and every day. I can talk about the series lost ad nauseum. I can talk about my children, and I can talk about my wife.
Oh,
Happy but true.
That's cute.
see, those are two, you son of a bitch, because you're like, those are 2 defaults. I don't get the luxury of using those defaults.
Yeah.
So
Well, you can be all wrestling. I
actually
thought about doing all
I
wrestling,
have
but
to actually think about 5 of them, not like, oh my wife
Well-
and my kids.
Yeah, my kids. College football.
flavor of the week.
My refereeing.
Probably got your penicillin shot, doctor, on a first name basis. Bob, I'm
I haven't
back.
dated anybody in years. What the hell are you talking about?
Right. We didn't say date.
Okay, so my kids, college football, wrestling, the movie Steel Magnolias, and Ninja Turtles. Steel Magnolias is my favorite all-time fucking movie.
All
I
right.
can talk about. I can tell you word for line, word for word.
Not
Great
surprised.
answer. Was not expecting that.
Everybody wants a whack a wheeze.
What? We don't know it.
I have no idea what
seen
you're
that
talking
movie?
about.
We don't know. I've seen it, but I don't remember why.
I can't quote it.
Isn't Sally Field in there?
There's a lot. I think Julia Roberts is
Yeah,
in.
she's in. Julia Roberts in it. Yeah.
And Julia Roberts dies, right?
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Oh yeah, you guys see it, James?
Yeah.
Guys at the
I was
end,
actually going to
yeah.
watch it tonight.
Oh man, this is funny shit.
Dude, it's an awesome movie, man. It's
Oh,
sad.
get the fuck out of here. Adam or Bryant, please do better than that. But no, you can't. That was awesome.
That was great. I'll go. I said because Amy sent this to me as well, so I said wrestling. Yeah, I said pro wrestling because I could talk about anything pro wrestling because I'm a nerd. I acknowledge that. Nebraska football because you live in the state, you're required to know everything about it.
That's a Hermes favorite answer right there.
Exactly. I got to go Back to the Future. My favorite movie. I love that trilogy. We talk about that all day, forever. And then I got to go with Boy Meets World because I love that show. Loved it since I was a kid. Topanga. I'm going to go meet Topanga in March.
Yeah,
Saved
you
by the
did.
Bell, baby. Kelly Kapowski.
Didn't you meet her or like do the meet and greet with her and Trish like in the same day or same weekend?
No, I'm going to meet Topanga in March. Like I signed up for that meet and greet in March, so I'm going to see her in a couple months. And then American history. I've always been a fan of American history, so I can just start talking about anything with that and just go off.
Nice.
Wait, I wanted to go back to one. Oh, did you see the documentary about the Wizard of Oz? No, about Back to the Future.
Yeah,
that's good.
Of course, I've seen anything that's got Back to the Future with it. I've seen.
I'm a big fan too.
It.
Have you been around the car?
Yeah.
Yeah. They came to our ice cream shop down the
James,
street.
go ahead, please. Jesus Christ.
I could go grab Gray Sports Almanac right now. I mean,
I have one as well.
Yeah.
Can we do
that's my number 6.
Oh boy.
Ninja Turtles and Steel Magnolias, and we're the freaking problem.
I could talk about the opening scene of Varsity Blues. I could talk about the second scene of Varsity Blues. I could talk about but like Varsity Blues is definitely gonna be. I could talk 30 minutes. the opening scene with the referee shadow thing. Aaron West Canaan, we play by a different set of rules. I can talk about that. You know, that movie, God, I could do 10 hours straight without even breathing talking about that movie. Let's see. Obviously, the Dallas Cowboys is number 2. I
Beer,
could talk about,
beer.
Oh, that could be 3, 4, 5 right there. Like light,
Natural
lager.
Light, Miller Lite, Bud Light.
So yeah, probably alcoholic beverages. The Cowboys, Varsity Blues. I could talk about Stone Cold, you know, obviously for forever. It'd be generic to say Hulk Hogan after that, so I'm gonna die. Oh, music. Fucking like Dave Matthews Band, the Beatles, Zeppelin. I got the Zeppelin symbols tattooed on my leg. Like music, big time. So yeah, that's a legit 5. Oh, and my wife and kids.
I forgot Rocky. I can talk about Rocky for 6 days. I'm Philly guy. Rocky, I can recite those. Anyway, that was fun, Amy. Appreciate it. So that's it for the questions. Hey, you know what? When you mention someone like the Big Show, I guess it does get some attention, but we really appreciate all of your interaction. It really helps the show out a lot. Thank you so much.
Leave your questions on social media, and they'll be answered on your show. Your questions. It's your show.
What's his actual birthday? Big Show's actual birthday.
February 8th. Today.
February 8th.
His dad, my sister was born February 8th, 1990.
1972. He will be.
Yeah, he's a little older than she is.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so it is. Today is his birthday. Happy
Today is his
birthday.
birthday.
Well, Brad,
Still more crap on the outline. There you go.
what do you think?
So this is something a little different. It's all the same game, really, but I just name it different shit. So what do you think?
Or Devin will do the same, like, would you rather thing, whatever.
And Mike's the same Mike's Meat Minute every week.
Sure.
All right. So this was a little bit of the Rumble and a little bit of one question for the Super Bowl. So since that is this weekend, and that is my Devin's demographic.
There you go. Hey, Taylor Swift's to the Super Bowl and both teams have red colors.
So do you think The Rock was supposed to be at the Rumble?
No.
Definitely not.
He'd have been there.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I thought he was. I was surprised he wasn't there.
Well, the way you worded that question is, do you like if he was supposed to be there, we would have smelled what was cooking.
Well, we all know that Brock Lesnar was supposed to be there. I just didn't know if The Rock was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever a plan in place for it.
So what is the plan in place for The Rock then?
Before Elimination Chamber.
Hype shit
He's not going to be at the Elimination Chamber. They've announced it's not going to be, I thought.
Hype shit up for a Never Neverland match.
I think the hype was to announce that he was going to be on the board. That was the bulk of it. Yeah.
Get him ingratiated or whatever that word is into the fold of the universe, and then like bam, here he is. And this is what I asked Kyoto, like because the Clique was kind of dicks to Rock at the beginning, and I was like, how cool is it for Rock to be like shaking Triple H's hand like on the board of directors, being like, how about how you like them apples, motherfucker? Because they did like treat The Rock like shit at the beginning.
Even Triple H.
The Clique, they said the Clique.
I know, but I always thought it was a Shawn Michaels thing.
It was a Shawn Michaels.
Well, but
thing,
if Shawn is treating him like shit, you think Triple H is gonna be like,
stop doing this is what that. I think. I always think Triple H is a little bit outside of them. A little bit more mature than all them.
I can see him treating The Rock better than the other ones.
Yeah.
That's what I asked Kyoto. Like, how cool is it for The Rock to be like, you work for me now, bitch?
Exactly. So, do you think the championship match, I'm talking about the 4-way at the Royal Rumble, was cut short?
Didn't see it.
No.
Do you think it was supposed to be a 14-minute match with 4 people?
I don't think so, because like I said, I went up to my room. By the time I came down, he pinned him, and I was like, motherfucker, because that's besides the Rumbles, that's the only match I wanted to see.
I'm sorry, that was a lousy match.
Oh,
that was lackluster, and it was obvious. I feel like something else was supposed to happen, and it didn't. You guys don't think so? You think that was supposed to be it?
I think it is. It's just we was all expecting something to happen to where Roman won. There's be interference. It's kind of like a rerun.
Now that you mention it, man, all the hype and like 4 legitimate, or 3 legitimate challengers and all this stuff, and it's just like, by the time I hit Bing on the elevator, go up and go down, and it's over. Like, fuck.
Yeah, but you took a few minutes going to the ribbon bag, though, James.
Well,
Now,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I filled my beers, I drank a beer.
Yeah, you were gone
know?
a lot longer than a bathroom break.
Well, that's what I said. I refilled my beers and all that stuff. Had to
Only
talk to
did
my
4
plus one and
matches.
figure out what the fuck he's doing, because Lord knows that was a wild card weekend.
Oh, I
You
am,
get what
brother.
I'm saying?
Playing music.
So, Brian, you think that's the way it was supposed to go?
I do. I think they were trying to make extra time for the men's rumble to have that Cody Punk spot, have all the time in the world for it.
That's why there was only 4 matches for the whole show, because they wanted to make sure everybody had plenty
Well,
of
I
time.
mean, both those matches are an hour. I get why it has to be 4 matches. I actually thought the Kevin Owens match, and I know you're not a big fan, James, was way better than the championship match
Oh, I'll
because
say that too.
hard hitting, man. But
I'll agree with that.
so, do you think Gunther was disappointed in his Rumble creative this year?
No. He was in the Final 4.
After an
So
Iron Man appearance from last year, going the longest ever, you don't think he was disappointed?
And everybody was on, like, he was like, Cody won, yay. But everybody was talking about, Dave, you see Gunther in there? Like, he's a legit motherfucker,
I
'cause
think
he
they
had all
got
the
something
hype
planned
last
for him.
year.
What do you got,
so
Brian? You got something?
so pre-Punk. So pre-Punk, I was actually expecting Gunther to win the Rumble this year. So to me, I kind of think so because I think you were building him to that moment. And then Punk came in, and then everything with Cody now, and it's like they just took it from him. And now knowing there's probably no Brock, I mean, that was his next goal was, I'll get Brock. Now there's no Brock.
That'd been a sweet Mania match, too. God, that'd been a sweet one.
Did you think that was an awkward elimination? Braun Breaker and Omos?
Yes. I
Do
thought
you
it
think
was
supposed
weird.
to happen? Or was it rushed? Like, did somebody slip?
I think it was rushed.
I think it was rushed, yeah. Because then even with the Braun spot, you miss his elimination because somebody else is coming out.
So awkward.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Rumor
wasn't
has
good
it McAfee
production,
didn't. Oh, good.
Go ahead. What about McAfee?
Rumor has it he didn't know he was going to be in it. And then
Well,
they called his
I
name
thought
and he's
that.
like,
Was he an
all
alternate?
right. Huh?
Was he an alternate?
Yes.
He may have been. No. And then, because he said, like, yeah, I didn't really know how this was going to go. And I think he halfway. Well, also, rumor has it that he was supposed to, like, face up to Brock. And then Brock, well, I guess so he would know he's in it. But that he was going to face Brock and then he was going to eliminate himself, like, when he went face to face with Brock.
It was weird.
But I think
It
he
was a
just.
weird moment in the match.
Yeah, because he's just like, see ya.
I feel like that spot could have went to somebody else.
I love McAfee to death, but somebody could have came
I
out
love
and done
McAfee,
something.
but
I love him too. I just didn't understand the spot.
I feel like it could have went to somebody else.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like these have been all obvious, so hopefully I can get you on this one. Do you think CM Punk was part of the decision to put Cody over?
Had to be, right?
I don't know. Is he part of creative?
Well, oh, no. I thought you meant like use Punk as the last dude. So I think that was the creative, was those two be the last two.
Well, are you talking about before Rollins' injury or after?
Talking about at the Rumble.
Well, I think it's because after Rollins' injury, I think it was, oh, okay, well, if he's hurt, let's go ahead and go Cody. And we'll
So you think
see
Punk
how
was the
Rollins
winner?
goes.
You think Punk was going to be the winner?
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either. What do you think,
Right.
Brian?
I'm still like, I kind of mentioned it earlier. I'm still kind of convinced that they called the audible in the ring when Punk knew he got hurt, because you could see him in the ring talking to officials. I think there was an audible called, and he's like, "We got to go Cody now." Because
So you think he was going to win?
I think he was going to win.
That is
Because
crazy.
I don't see him. Because I don't see him coming in to lose. If that makes sense.
Can Bruce quit WWE? We can ask these kinds of questions.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that's going to ever tell us.
Because it makes sense
even
for
that's
Cody.
borderline.
Because it makes sense for Cody to have to overcome more to get to that, to finish his story.
That's
rather than
true.
Here's
He could
Punk
ask
just.
one, dog.
If Cody's the last one eliminated, then he has to go to Elimination Chamber and fight his way back into it.
Exactly.
I guess
And you
that
make
makes
that
sense.
you make that his he has to win moment.
Yeah,
So who's
like he
facing-
has to win this match.
Yeah.
And then,
But
he
they
faces
said that they
insurmountable
waited.
odds and then wins.
they said Punk was brought out close to the end on purpose just to avoid any kind of injury.
Mhm.
That's why he was brought out 27th, 28th, whatever it was.
Well,
So
I
who
said he
faces
came out
Rollins
tired.
now? Who faces Rollins now? Gunther?
I think it's Cody.
See, that's why I didn't understand why he was cheering. Why was he cheering? He still has to wrestle. You know what I mean? He still has to wrestle at WrestleMania.
I think he was cheering because Punk lost.
Yeah,
I think that's why he was
Punk
cheering.
lost. That's what, yeah, there you go.
I
Yeah,
heard
it's
an
punk
idea
loss.
last night from a friend of the show, Allison. Cody faces both champions and wins both belts at Mania.
Then
I hope
you,
not.
then what? We create another belt in another year.
Yeah, we just did that.
Well,
2
because
years ago,
even
3 years
Palmwater and
ago.
all them were talking about it, and I was like, dude, then the crowd boo the fuck out. You're in Philly. You can't do shit
can't
like
do
The
that.
fuck up.
No,
And then
God,
the
no.
crowd would boo the hell out of it. And I was like, isn't that too much Cody? They're like, I don't think so. I'm like, man.
They
Way
do
too
love
much
Cody, but
I
They do
wouldn't
love Cody,
mind
that's too much.
seeing Cody and Rollins and Roman and Gunther.
no.
Roman and who?
Who are you rooting
Gunther.
for?
Gunther.
Nobody roots for him. I'm just saying he's a
Ah.
heel. You have two heels.
I don't think Roman's will lose in the building anytime soon.
I want main event Jay, baby. Come
They're
on.
I'll
gonna
tell you
make
what, he
him-
was over, man. He is over. Man,
Oh,
So-
God, yeah. Everybody
crowd
that
is
crowd,
nuts.
man, just
So that's my theory is Jay's going to be the one to take the Intercontinental title off of Gunther, and it's going to be Gunther Rollins, and then Gunther gets the world title, and that's his reign through the summer.
then and then what do you do with the Intercontinental Championship?
Jay Uso beats him. I think
Okay.
Jay takes it from him because
All right.
they're already tying Jay into Imperium, so I think Jay's the one who takes it off him.
All right, I like that, man.
I want him to do something with Priest. He's got the money in
That's
the bank.
another thing. You got him. And
Yeah.
let's not forget Randy Orton. Let's not forget
LA
LA
Knight.
Knight. Let's not forget AJ Styles. We were just in the main event, like a major event.
I think LA Knight is going for the U.S. title.
Yeah, I think he's going with Logan Paul. Yeah,
All right. Well, I think that story's not over with Kevin Owens. No one won. Really? All right. Last one, guys. Will this be the most watched Super Bowl of all time?
No.
Yes.
Bryant?
I think it will be.
Yes, I agree 100%. Taylor Swift is going to make
I
it
think
happen.
it will
My
smash.
daughter is gonna watch it.
I think it will
Yep.
smash the record by like
Okay.
couple
if you're
million.
including Taylor Swift. Yeah, you're right.
I think people are going to tune in just to see if Taylor Swift can make it by kickoff because she's got the show they're
Does.
talking about somewhere.
in Japan. Yeah, it's in
But
Japan.
That's the
Yeah.
story.
And I know you're not a fan of Philly, James, but Jason Kelsey, people want to see him too with his shirt off. I'm
Dude,
telling
have
you.
y'all checked out their podcast? It's actually a
I
pretty good podcast.
love it.
Oh,
I love it.
God.
And I have his
I
shirt.
just started listening to it. It's pretty good.
It is great. James,
Oh, they're hilarious.
yeah, don't listen to it,
They really
James, because
are.
you know what? I hate to break it to you.
They're
You're gonna
freaking
love them.
hilarious.
And then you're gonna have to go back on everything you say. They're good guys.
They're freaking
They're cool.
hilarious together.
Logan Paul's probably a good dude. Well, I don't know that. Kevin Owens is probably a good dude. Sami Zayn.
Kevin
Hell,
Owens,
I shared the video with y'all. Sami Zayn and his kid running around the ring, and I was like, hard to hate on that.
I don't
Like,
know.
of course, there's good people. That doesn't mean I gotta like them.
No, they're
If I'm
funny.
a good person
No,
and
they're
people hate
freaking
me.
hilarious together.
Listen, we're not that much different than them. I'm going to tell you that right now. This show's not that much different, except we can't hear Mike by the end of the show. But for the most part, we're a lot like them. They're just shooting the shit. It's not even really professional. It's just shooting the shit,
It's just
Right.
it's just two brothers. Yeah, shooting shit. It's awesome.
shooting the shit, talking about the games. You know, football, baby.
If I need some shooting the shit, I'll listen to WHW, McAfee Show, and your show, The Kickout Crew.
Anyway, that's it for me. But boom, back to you, James.
Well, I
Have
guess
fun, guys.
the most exciting part of the show is what we're doing next week. And rumor has it, gimmicks.
Well, what you let us know, Bryant? What's going on, buddy?
So here it is.
That's what I think.
There was a poll done by Mike on
Oh,
our
yeah.
Twitter page for gimmicks. There was a vote that won, and I don't care what was voted that won because I can't find the tweet at this point because it's so far buried on our feed.
Yeah, I do that. And
So
you-
I'm gonna pick the gimmick match that I voted for on the poll because I remember it on there. So next week there will only be one match because it is
Perfect.
because it's a 20-minute match. It's a
Uh.
a 20-minute match.
20 minutes
One,
ain't bad. Okay.
James.
So just one match. We're going to cover the King of the Mountain match from TNA. And I will send the link to you guys for YouTube in the chat.
Perfect. Just
I've
any King of the
never
Mountain
watched
match,
this
or is there
match.
only one?
No, we're going to cover the very first King of the Mountain match.
I've never watched these, so I'm pumped up.
Yeah,
You
this is
know.
awesome, bro. This is awesome.
Yeah, shout
So
out
that's
Mike.
Shout
Yeah,
out,
that's
Mike.
why-
Why don't you go throw up somewhere, pal?
Yeah.
Huh?
Ah,
I remembered the poll and I immediately went, no, we're going to do this because I
He's all-
guarantee nobody has seen this and it's going to be perfect.
I like how Mike probably had 2 matches, probably already started doing shit. Well, let's be real here.
Right,
Mike
right,
probably
right.
had
No
the 2 matches.
Freaking way he's done shit.
No way. Yeah, there's no way he's done
He's talking about putting up the pickle recipe again.
that. Yeah, he's still
Right?
probably talking about pickles. Yeah.
And I found the tweet. It's ladder, Hell to Sell, King of the Mountain.
Did you really find it?
You really
Yes, I-
found it? Good
Yeah.
God.
Dude, I can't get you to remember the
Type in
matches.
search. Just type gimmick in the search and it pops right up.
Well,
33%,
Yeah, so-
33%
so yeah.
Hell to Sell,
we appreciate everybody's
25%
opinion, but
ladder.
no thanks.
14% King of the Mountain. So
So
we're doing the
14
one that was voted the
14%
least.
King of the Mountain, and we're
So
getting
That's what we're
technically-
doing.
Technically, we're
14%
covering a
my
ladder
ass.
match. We're technically covering a ladder match. So there you go.
Hey, Adam. can
that
you
way
read that
everybody
here again?
wins.
So
It's
we
a
can make faces at her
win-win-win.
again?
Conflict resolution.
All right. Thanks, Bryant. Kiss our ass,
Say,
Mike.
A King of the Mountain match, huh?
Yeah, King of the Mountain.
Well,
Next
Put him
week.
in my
8%
world,
voted, no,
goggles.
There
Why
you
do you
go.
both
Worst.
have them?
Voted thing that we covered.
I got my foam finger on the floor in my room.
What do
How do
I
you just
got?
have those on standby, ready to go? What the hell?
I know, right?
Because I live in a
what the hell?
grown ass
Why did
world and
you
I
have
got
them?
shit everywhere. Hell, I was Ryu there for a little bit while Adam was being a father. And there I was, Ryu in it.
That was fun.
Yeah. I'm a man of many talents, and when I find whichever one works, I'll be glad to, use that one. And that is also what she said. And it looks
On
like
that-
the tape machines are rolling on this
Definitely
episode.
rolling.
Back to you, James. Take her home.
We have climbed to this mountain. We were the kings of it at the, for 90% of it. And here we are. It's a pun about next week, Brad. I tried.
I love it, man. I'm like, where's it going?
Hey, I was hanging out with a girl last night, and
Nice.
I was showing her some
Woo!
clips, and she's like, "Oh, so that bald dude, he's the host of the show, right?" And I was like, "Fuck yes, I can't wait to bring this up. Fuck yeah." So,
Fucking bald dude. Love it.
hey, you
Well, I
bald
mean, it is what
bitch,
it is,
you're the
right?
host of the show
I'll wear a hat next week. Maybe I'll bring back the original wig.
with the glasses of the nose and the mustache. You'd be, what's that dude? What's his name on the Digital Underground? Stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image of the style that you used to. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Pronounce with the umpty.
Yeah, that's what she said.
And so next week,
Yeah.
want to thank everybody for joining us this week. Sorry for that little 3 minutes there that just happened. But hey, that's what we do on your show, because it's just friends shooting the shit. And we're like this off camera too, if you can believe it. It's not like we make this part professional. Let's be real.
And shout out to everybody that voted that we're not going to do what you voted for.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you for
That's
your
how we
opinion.
do.
It mattered
I
so
couldn't
much.
find the poll. All right.
All right, Judy Bagwell, calm down.
But yeah, man, it's fellowship and friends and all that stuff. That's what we do here. Try to ease your mind a little bit, make a couple smiles, make a couple jokes. Hell, hopefully y'all laugh a time or two. And that's what it's all about. Because life is always a pain in the fucking dick. And here's the thing. Or a pain in the ass, sorry. Didn't want to get gender specific there. Life is always a pain in the ass, but guess what? If you didn't go through the bad times, you wouldn't appreciate the good times, man. And that's what makes the good times worth living. Because you go through so much ass that finally you go through so much bad times, I'll put it that way, that way when the good times hit, you fucking cherish them more. And hopefully we gave you some good times during this episode. Hopefully you laughed. Hell, I cried probably twice. And that's what we do here. And the only way you can do that is, guess what? You gotta fucking throw that shoulder, baby. You gotta kick at it too. Never never let anyone tell you you're worthless, and never ever feel worthless. Because guess what? You have the power to change it. And you have the power to, do what you need to do. And the only way you can do that is to kick at it too. Never give up. Always kick at it too, and beg for another shot because life's going to keep bringing them, and you just keep throwing that shoulder. And that's what we do. Because guess what? We're going to see you next week. After bombing at the end of this episode, guess what? We're throwing out the shoulder, and we're going to see y'all's asses next week. Because that's what we do, and that's what you do on your show. Reach out to us, man. I want to thank everybody. Be sure to be a friend and tell a friend, because hey, we ain't here without you, And I guess that's pretty much the conclusion. Conclusion's always like the smallest, and the bullet point's always the smallest. Every single fucking outline. And with that being said, we'll see you next week. Goodbye. Somebody gotta say something since Mike's not here.
You put the chicken.